All right, so to start off the podcast here, I was gonna say, man, I'm gonna try and keep this positive, but I think we're actually going into this. All things considered, I think it's all right. I think it's all right. I'm not like, consuming copium or anything like that.
Oof.
Like I don't have boundless boundless positivity. It might seem like I take a lot of things with a really really positive light. I might be really pro Niantic maybe in some cases. But man, going into today's episode, I was thinking, man, it's going to be really hard to be positive, but I think we've got the right energy going on. So I think we'll be all right. What do you think, Jesse?
Rip the Band-Aid.
Yeah, I guess that works.
Giddy up now. This is the news roundup.
Alrighty, welcome to the Battle Science Podcast, a Pokemon Go PvP podcast where we talk about Pokemon Go's PvP. I am one of your hosts, Steven, a.k.a. Boy in the Woods, joined as always by Jesse, a.k.a. Rocket Admin J.
Oh, hi.
Thank you everyone for bearing with us as we delay 1 week. Today is Tuesday, February 28th, the final day of the month of February for this year. It is not a leap year. I kind of wish it were a leap year because then I would have to wait one more day to have to do inventory at work. But, whatever. Can't always have 29 days in February.
No, only once every 4 years.
Once every 4 years. That is how leap years work.
Do you think leap year will eventually turn into daylight savings and they'll just get rid of it?
No. So I like the detour here. I like the distraction here. No. So daylight savings time was created by the I think the coal corporations or something back in the day, to try and get more money out of people because their lights would be on at times where there isn't light or whatever. So they'd have to pay money to get coal or something to that effect. I don't remember exactly what it is.
That sounds like a fact check if I ever heard it.
Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong or if it's just a wives' tale or something. Someone let me know. But to my knowledge, that's why daylight savings times exist. The reason we have a leap year is because our days aren't actually 24 hours. Our time is slightly off. Or the amount of days in a year is slightly different. It's not an exact rotation of the Earth. That's why every 4 years you have to have an extra day. That then corrects for
the
slight difference in the rotation of the Earth.
Okay.
Around the sun. So yeah, it's like it's a bit more.
Look at us getting all astrology up in here.
That's not astrology. I don't know. I know nothing other than I'm a Cancer. I know nothing about astrology. So don't ask, please. If you have like weird fun factoids about astrology, sure, I'll listen to them. But like, I know nothing.
I'm an Aries.
Yeah. End of February 2023. Boy howdy, we will talk a little bit of the Pokemon Go Tour that happened this weekend. Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn.
Hoenn!
We have the upcoming season to talk about, which is why we waited a week to record the podcast. The season of Rising Heroes.
How fun would that have been if they held off of that till tomorrow?
I was like, I was thinking about it after I got off work. I was just hanging out, and I was like, you know what? Might have been a better podcast had we done it last week and not this week. A little bit more positivity, a little bit more, I don't know, fun or whatever. I think we have the right energy going into this.
But you know us who has the right energy?
What?
Our awesome triple Ps.
Oh my goodness! Thank you for setting me up. Let me just that's a nice set. Let me just spike and we'll get the point, and that's volleyball. The wonderful Patreon podcast producers over at patreon.com/battlescience.
For the month of February?
For the month of February. You can join the ranks of Evo Stevo, Winston the Champ, Jamar, and Dan P, a.k.a. Sorov, by going over to patreon.com/battlescience and backing us at the $5 tier. And get wonderful benefits like the Battle Science podcast early, the Battle Science After Dark podcast, the monthly Patreon exclusive podcast, and some stuff that I don't know I'm thinking about and I haven't talked to Jesse about. Don't worry, it's maybe worry a little.
I already owe people a pizza. What else are you making me pay for?
I know. I have been meaning to. I'll put it out in the air to you. I've been meaning to talk to you for a long time, and I haven't. And I really need to. So,
all right.
It's not bad. It's just stuff. So I need to talk to you about it. Jim's Him will probably proc tomorrow with the start of the new month. So you will be back to a triple P for next week's podcast. Because again, we didn't record last week, so we're recording this week, and then we're back to the regular schedule, so we're recording next week as well.
Double feature.
Before I leave the Patreon stuff, I will say I think our last Battle Science After Dark podcast where we talked about
games.
We just talked about video games was probably the most fun I've had on a podcast, especially at BSAT in a while. I think that was just a lot of fun.
I don't know. I think that M&M one was pretty top for me.
That was also fun. You can also listen to us rank and review the not all encompassing M&M flavor rank and review from what not this holiday but last holiday season.
Yeah, we went through and got like every potato chip brand of M&Ms we could find.
Jim is him redeemed to hydrate, so drinks the water.
I will.
Jesse's running trades right now. Post Hoenn Tour trades. Check us out over at the YouTubes, youtube.com/c/battlescience for the VOD of the Battle Science podcast, as well as my own live streams of Scarlet and Violet, a little bit of the Sun and Moon, which I will go back to at some point, etc., etc. And if you're not listening, if you're listening somewhere else, you can go over to twitch.tv/battlescience, and that is where we record the podcast live, do other live stream stuff, and things. Stuff and things. So, oh goodness, we got a lot of stuff, and I got some notes to go through, so let's hit some buttons and get into it. Nope, that's the wrong button. I'm sorry. Oh, goodness gracious. Where's my buttons?
Well-oiled machine.
I'm losing it. I'm losing it.
Do I need to do the news roundup?
No, I got it.
Giddy up now. This is the news roundup.
I just never muted it before. I never hit it. Because it only plays once when you unhide it. But I never hit it from the last time. So I got a little goofed up there. But we're good. We're in. All right. Weekend recap. So we're kind of in the news roundup, but kind of not in the news roundup right now. Weekend recap. Hoenn Tour Global Feelings is what I have.
Feelings with a question mark?
Well, I just have it in my notes. I just made some show notes here, some pretty generic stuff because I don't normally make show notes, but I was like, you know what? I feel like we're gonna have just enough stuff to do here that I need to put some show notes up. Weekend recap, Hoenn Tour Global Feelings. I've got a couple of like tiny little bullet points here to write down, but
why don't you go ahead and share your thoughts first?
For a free event, it was pretty solid. It was free. Purchase was not required. Realistically, the only thing there were 2 ways to spend money. The Masterwork research, which is not required, and wasn't necessarily tied to Go Tour Hoenn.
It just helped you finish one of those requirements a little bit quicker.
Considerably quicker. Considerably quicker. Although I will say they started handing that out the weekend before.
Yeah.
So anyone that was at the Go Tour Hoenn Las Vegas, and then anyone that was catching Pokemon that were featured during the Rayquaza event, definitely got a head start on the Hoenn requirement. I think I'm about halfway through the Kanto 300 and something.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit of Kanto around. I've been seeing a lot of Ponyta.
There's not a lot of Johto. There is not a lot of Johto.
There's never been really a lot of Johto, though. Just got to catch all those Spinarak and Sentret.
I think the spawns were solid. There was some stuff that we haven't seen in a long time, it feels like. Your Zangoose, your Mawile. The cast forms without weather boost were really, really appreciated. I really don't quite understand why normal cast form, and snowy cast form just weren't anywhere.
I think it's because they were mostly like the unknown. They were pick your version. This is the feature you get.
No. Snowy and normal cast form?
That's why they weren't around. They were promoting rainy and sunny as part of the weather duo.
True. I mean, so what I'd like to see is to have them show up at some point, not be... I mean, normal shows up anyway.
I think you were the one that also mentioned that we've never really had a weather event. And with the weather trio popping up like this, it's kind of interesting that we didn't.
Well, so, I mean, but that's kind of the research going into it was Professor Willow saying that he's seeing sun that made plants grow exponentially fast, and then
wait, you actually read the research?
I did read the research, yeah, because you don't. And then like torrential downpours. So this was kind of sort of a weather event because the primals are affected to the planet in such a way, but we haven't had like a snow weather event, kind of sorta. We've never had like a shifting.
So I'm gonna give this
weather
free
event
idea
like
out
this.
there to the internet.
Okay.
Just for you, Niantic, here's an idea.
Oh boy.
The Catch 5 weather boost, make the rewards just rotating all 4 versions of the...
Wow, that's actually really good. Why would... Because I know they do Elemental now, but you could just do all 4, a random of the 4 of the cast forms. Yeah, that would be...
No one would complain about that. Well, maybe they would, but, you know.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
But then you would just complain that you could never not get good IVs because they would all be research IVs.
Then you could trade them. I mean, yeah. Sure.
6 of 1, right?
Yeah, you can't make it perfect. Unless you just removed the... I don't know. Yeah, there's... Because the other thing is there are other pieces of research or rewards where they're not locked to 10 minimum IVs. So, yeah, it's complicated. The one interesting thing was there was a lack of bonuses, like for anything. So, Egg Hatch was full.
No bonus to Stardust, no bonus on Candy.
No bonus to XP. The other odd thing was it almost seemed like some of the rewards from the raids were nerfed. The Primal raid seemed to have not as...
They didn't follow the same guidelines as like Megas.
Yeah, because there wasn't a guaranteed XL candy, rare XL candy. There were a few less items, I think, per raid given out, and a couple of other things. So yeah, it was a little unfortunate there. I don't remember if they'd done it previously, but there were no PvP NPCs.
No.
There were no encounters with NPCs
No trainers.
to fight. The rockets, I think, were still kind of around.
Yes.
I do appreciate that, where you're just singularly focused on catching.
And I think the last 2 tours that they've done, people have said that they're just an annoyance.
Yeah.
And so they're like, fine, just none this time.
Yeah, and I think it's a cool concept, and they've done it in the past.
I would like events focused on that. I don't want them as an addition.
If anything, the build up to it could have had it.
Yeah.
The what do they call it? Raging Skies or something?
I don't remember.
With Rayquaza? Rayquaza? I don't know. Hey man, if I'm gonna mispronounce it, I might as well go for
Butcher it.
Yeah, just send it. If anything, you could have put them in there and had, Hoenn featured teams or teams featured on the Hoenn gym leaders or something. That could have worked too. The one thing that I was kind of bummed but also kind of understood on, you didn't have to complete the Hoenn Pokédex for this. There wasn't like research bits for completing the Hoenn Pokédex.
No, there was just catch these during their hours.
Yeah, they were very small, limited of like catch four of the featured Pokemon that were a part of each hour block.
I want to say the roughest one that I heard everyone complain about was Clamperl.
Really?
That did not seem to spawn as often as it should.
Huh. The benefit is you had both days.
Yes.
You had 4 hours in the total of the weekend to get them.
Right.
So I think that worked out. But I could see, it did take us a little while to get the first one, but we did happen to get it on the first rotation. So, I didn't have a problem with it, but I could understand how some people would have a problem with it, given spawn density and stuff. So, the Pokédex, I can understand why completing the Hoendex would be a nightmare.
It's a bit bigger.
It's a bit bigger, and the one Pokemon that explains all of it is Feebas. Walk 20 kilometers with it as your buddy. Thank goodness they didn't make that a requirement, because that would have been a nightmare. So,
I'm sure there's a couple other ones in there that you could say that would be a nightmare too.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
What's the 400 evolution? Whalmer?
Yeah. There's some of them that just wouldn't make any sense. It would have to be like acquire
Flygon
either
Gen 3?
via
Flygon was Gen 3.
Yeah, Flygon was Gen 3. Trapinch was around. Like, if you didn't have enough candy for things, it would have been pretty gross to try and
now, if they put that as a special research, that would make more sense, because then you could have as much time as you wanted.
Yeah, that would also be cool. Although, realistically getting your badge for each generation is, kind of sort of that too. So, having the regionals as eggs was, I don't know, I guess all right. It was kind of a complaint ahead of time, but it's not the end of the world after the fact, I guess. So, the 10Ks were pretty...
My only
weighted.
complaint is if you were going to put things behind exclusively 10Ks, don't have the other ones dropping.
Don't have 2s and 5s.
Yeah.
The starters were in 2s, and I don't remember what was in 5s, but it was actually something kind of reasonable. I was like, okay, I'm not too angry about this, but yeah, you could have weighted the 10Ks even more, to be honest.
Made them 7Ks. That way you can guarantee you would get them.
True. That's true. We'll talk about 7Ks later. That's a topic that'll show up. Yeah, that's more or less my feelings on it. How are you doing?
I spent too much money.
I didn't spend any except for the Masterwork research. I'm kind of happy about that.
Really wanted a Hundo Kyogre.
I want the Hundos too, but I have trades with dozens of people and a couple of lucky trades that I can ask our community for, or our locals for.
You will never get around to it.
No, probably not.
It'll be one of those things we're hanging out and they'll approach me and I'll be like, "You have a lucky trade with us?" "Oh, I have one with Steven."
Yeah. Yeah, I need to pop into the local chat every once in a while because I don't do that now. So
it's funny. Ever since we've gone out to the Kirkland tournaments, I could pull it up right now. I guarantee you I have 20 people on my friends list from Kirkland that I have lucky trades with.
Oh yeah, I think I've got like things cats can't eat and a
Yep.
couple of other people
Yep.
as luckies, and it's like
I've got Modkiss, I've got Jamar, I've got Things Cats Can't. I've got pretty much the whole staff of X3DX.
hey man, we'll see them in a weekend.
Yeah.
Week and a half.
Other than the fact that I splurged too, it got to the point where I felt bad doing Kyogre raids. Like I'm just like I'm doing too many of these. Do you want to know how much primal energy I ended up with over the weekend?
I'm scared.
2,536.
Okay, I have one. Do I have 1,000? No. No, I have 500. I have 500.
2,000.
That's a lot. How much is the requirement to like just do it?
400.
No. Sorry.
Oh.
How much primal energy is required for you to just immediately get it to the highest rank?
Oh, I don't know.
It's probably not.
But
too
I
far
need the
off from-
hundo for that.
It's probably not too far off from what you currently have. That's true though. I still have all of the legendaries. So if you want to, yeah, if
but
we
it's
when
a
we
one
hit
a day
lucky,
thing.
right? And when we hit lucky friends, that I'm more than happy to trade those. Over,
But
so.
other than me going obsessively hard for Kyogre, it was more or less just a weekend just to have an excuse to walk around. What did he say?
Don't ask Jim is him how much Relicanth candy he has. It was a dex entry in Vegas. Oh God.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
I hatched, so of the 10Ks that I did hatch,
Uh-huh.
that was another thing I spent money on, but that's because you have 12 egg slots now, right? Yeah, 9 originally. And then
9
3.
originally and 3 that are
I
either
went into the
Adventure Sync or
weekend
12Ks.
With 9 10Ks from past events
Uh-huh.
and 3 12s.
Uh-huh.
So I needed to buy an incubators just to get that cleared out.
So I was able to buy the box with just coins that I have gotten from throwing Pokemon in gyms over the last couple months. Because I just don't spend coins and I just don't spend money.
I normally don't do eggs, but I know that these are all regional Pokemon that locals would trade me whatever for.
I figured I could hatch some eggs. I needed to hatch some eggs anyway, and I could have leftover incubators for whatever in the future. Figure we're only a month or so away, month and a half away from Easter, and that's when things pop off.
There'll
And
be another one.
And oh, hey, by the way, this season, guess what fits this theme perfectly? Lucario. We might get the Mega this season.
Yeah, no, for the hero thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Overall spawns and what we experienced walking around Bellevue Park. Spawns weren't terrible. I mean, we cherry picked the ones we want. Bagon, Ralts. I went for Chimeco just for the extra Stardust. Shinies were a bit lower than I expected.
Yeah. I don't think they were really boosted. Besides, the one that seemed to be boosted was the Pokemon you picked as part of the special research.
Yes.
That was boosted to the point where you were...
4 of those.
I found 3. One of which was an egg hatch, and I don't know if that was affected as far as shiny
that counts.
I mean, it does count as far as shiny.
I do
counts,
like
but I don't know as
the
far
options
as its boost.
though that they gave for the research.
They were all equally kind of meh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Gulpin, Surskit, and Cacnea. Which, I mean, I like Surskit. Out of the 3 of those, I like Surskit the most. So I was like, okay, I'm down with Surskit.
Yeah.
But I think all equally, they were brand new shinies to the event, or to the game.
Which did help Chance to get it because during the event, the other 2 you didn't see as much if you chose one over the other 2, but they were available in the research.
They're available in the research, and other people, each person will pick their own thing, and you have plenty to trade.
Yeah.
So I have an extra Surskit to trade somebody because I can have the...
Bonds were okay. Lures lasting only 30 minutes kind of sucked.
Okay, yeah, lures were only 30 minutes. The one benefit was incense was an hour.
Yeah.
And that I appreciate.
I actually talked to Game Nut.
Uh-huh.
He said that on Saturday, he went through his complete inventory of lures.
Wow.
And he had 30.
Wow. Wait, so was he like staying in one particular spot then?
Yeah, they were downtown.
Okay.
Or no, he was Crossroads that weekend.
Oh, huh.
So we missed him. I was like, oh, we were thinking about going to Crossroads, but then we just kind of said meh.
Huh. Interesting. How was your Sunday? Because you and I split up for Sunday.
Oh, how did I start? Well, first I started by unburying my car out of the snow.
Was it? It wasn't that bad.
It
though.
wasn't that bad, but
No.
it still took a minute to defrost everything. I went from 10 a.m. The locals there was a really good stretch of raids right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we did 3 Kyogres and a Groudon. And then after that, I'm like, okay, I need to stop. I need to play the event because I want to do the event. I parked over at Tweed's behind Bartell's.
Mm-hmm.
I walked down the main strip all the way to QFC, grabbed lunch at QFC, and then walked around Torg, down through Sideview, and did a couple like weird turnarounds because there was some Latias I was trying to find, which that was also an interesting mechanic for the weekend.
I was able to catch a second one. But yeah, it was pretty inconsistent as far as, or pretty consistent that they were breaking out.
I didn't
quickly.
catch anything other than the one that the Go Plus caught. I'm just like, really?
So you got the one in the timed research, and then the one in
The first one that we popped off on Bellevue that the Go Plus grabbed.
nice. Wait, was that the same one that I was able to get?
Maybe.
Okay. Hi, dog.
I'd have to go back and look at the CP, but it's just like I was using Golden Raz and Ultras and didn't catch it.
Yeah,
But the Go Plus throws a Pokeball, 50% chance it catches it.
Yeah, I didn't have any success either, but that is hilarious that your Go Plus go. You should have just let your Go Plus get the rest of them.
I know. Well, so after walking around for 3 hours in downtown North Bend, because I did 2 loops around downtown, my legs were still tired from the day before. I just went home, threw a lure up on the stop, and just put it down next to me as I sat there and played Fire Emblem.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, I ended mine with going to a Kraken game where they ended up getting just whooped. It was bad. Thankfully the Sounders won, but I could have gone to either the Sounders game or the Kraken game, and I decided to go to the Kraken game, and the Kraken lost, and it was bad. But hey, I caught my Jirachi.
Your first one?
Yes, my first one. I don't know if you saw the tweet.
Yes.
Yeah. The Kraken's warm up intro is sponsored by the Amazon Echo. So the in arena hosts will say, "Hey blank," because I'm not actually going to say it. I'm going to activate somebody's devices. Hey blank, what time is it? And rather than saying what time it is, the voice then says, "It's time for Kraken warm-ups. Playing the Kraken warm-up playlist." And so, of course, I tweet on my personal account that I caught Jirachi. Like, played Pokemon Go. Now it's time for a Kraken game. Hey, Jirachi, what time is it? And then it's just Jirachi floating on the inside of the stadium. So, that was a cool. I was like, oh, you know what? This is a cool little thing we could do.
So that right there, that inspiration you had,
Uh-huh.
is what I use when I do AR photos.
Mm-hmm. I was like, why can't I put this Jirachi down? If Jesse can put a Rayquaza or a Deoxys in T-Mobile Park, why can't I do this? Come on! It was difficult. It was being a pain in the butt. But I
that's
got
because
it.
you were trying to do it on the catch screen with all the other Pokemon around it, right?
Jim is him. No, I got my original Jirachi. The original Jirachi from
Steven's bad at special
from
research.
Go Fest
3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I was already on that section. I just had never tapped on it and grabbed it. So, I was like, it's the Hoenn Tour. I'll grab Jirachi.
I kind of to kind of close out Hoenn Tour. I agree. It was a free event. People needed to keep their expectations low. Could have been better, sure, but I think the whole point was they just wanted people to get out and
Yeah, and I think that's in part why, fingers crossed, because they do seem to be removing some of the COVID era bonuses. I think because they had the premium version, which was in Vegas, which I mean, neither of us were there. We can't really break down what was happening there. It didn't sound like it sounded like a good time, but also didn't sound like a good time.
It was a good time if you weren't playing the game.
It's complicated. When is it not? It's complicated. We're not gonna go into it because it's a whole other conversation. But the premium event, the premium version is the in-person where you get to hang out with all your friends, and then the free version is the global version, which still has those spawns, but maybe doesn't have the same benefits or the same story or the same whatever. So it seems like an interesting, and fingers crossed, that's how things move forward and continue to move things forward. It wouldn't surprise me if they removed the global version of the event. It would disappoint me to no end if they did, but it wouldn't surprise me. So it's, things and stuff.
I think the difficulty for the primal raids was on par too, because we didn't struggle. I mean, I had a couple instances where I struggled, but that's just because I was with randoms that I didn't know. But anytime we had any of our crew or any of the locals jump in, it was never a problem.
No, I think we have a reasonable enough crew around us.
You have a reasonable enough teacher telling them what to use.
True. That's true. Yeah, well, that and they listen. So,
It's because I throw it down their throat
just because you tell someone something doesn't mean that they're actually going to listen.
Right.
Unfortunately.
No, but most of them they've been around me long enough that they know
they
have
better.
An idea.
They know better. So, I would agree.
I'm not the worst person, but I'm going to make sure you use the right stuff so we all have a good time.
All right, so then let's break into the news roundup and go over Pokemon Presents. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of everything. I thought it was cool. It's been, what was the anniversary of Red and Green release?
27 years ago.
27 years ago? It's been a long time. How is that? What did you think of the? Did you actually watch it, or were you listening to it?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know you were at work. It was before work. Was it a CG or was it an animatronic Pikachu? Did you watch it afterwards?
I've heard the discussion. I don't know.
I think it's an animatronic. It's a Tickle Me Pikachu, is what I was calling it at work.
Okay.
I think it's like a Tickle Me Pikachu.
That's a good point. I have to go back and look at it.
It's really weird. So the when it cries out Pikachu, it sounds like it's kind of far away from the mic. So like it sounds like it's not mic'd up, like it's not mastered properly. So I think it's an animatronic.
And they just voiced it over.
No, I think it's an animatronic with its own Pikachu.
With its own voice, okay.
In it, yeah. I think it's like a Tickle Me Pikachu.
So kind of like
a Tickle Me Elmo Pikachu.
Okay.
At first I was like, yo, is this a CG Pikachu? Is this a Detective Pikachu reference? Apparently it's not the first Pokemon Presents where they've had it featured.
No, it's been the last two.
But it's not it's not a purchasable product apparently. So
it's not a what?
It's not a purchasable product.
No,
It's not a yeah.
Yes.
So, yet. That's the thing. I was like, are we going to get this? So, Pokemon Sleep is a thing, and it will be connected to Pokemon Go. Let me pull up the page here. Coming soon, pair with the Pokemon Go Plus. Now, every reaction video, I watched 3 different reactions. So I watched it initially, and then I listened to 3 different reaction streams from 3 different crews after the fact at work. And everyone giggled about the Pokemon Go Plus. And I'm like, because you guys don't laugh. It's literally just an improvement of the Pokemon Go Plus item. And
they could have named
like,
it something
you,
else.
I mean, there's the Pokeball Plus.
The Go Plus Ultra.
You're gonna get sued.
Is that copyrighted?
I wouldn't surprise me if Plus Ultra is. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Go
in the
Ultra
slightest.
Plus.
Don't make it uglier than it has to be, Jesse. The Pokeball,
Go Ultra Plus.
the Pokemon Go Plus Plus, while somewhat ridiculous, people need to calm down. It's not that bad. The Pokemon Go Plus Plus is coming. It's coming in the summer. Pre-orders are already open pre-orders are already open and sold out in the Pokemon Center, and I imagine Best Buy at this point, because Best Buy opened theirs at like 2 p.m. PST today, and I imagine they're all gone. It acts almost exactly like the Pokemon Go Plus, the initial device, as a Bluetooth device to sync up with Pokemon Go. The Pokemon Go Plus Plus will have functionality along with Pokemon Sleep, but it does not act like a Switch controller, like the Pokeball Plus.
From my understanding, they did officially announce it is an auto doer.
It's
not
correct. So Pokeball. So it's taking the functionality of a gacha and similar items, where it will, rather than having to touch the button to interact and catch a Pokemon,
like the original Plus,
like the original Plus,
the Ball Plus,
or the Pokeball Plus. Yes, it will automatically catch. It will to my knowledge, it will automatically catch with Pokeballs. If you want to use Great Balls or Ultra Balls, you have to tap the button. But
is
I'm
that
not.
what it is? I thought you could set it.
I don't know. They said that you can set it, but they didn't say that it would automatically catch with Great Balls or Ultra Balls.
Well, that's I think where the feature "Remember the Last Ball Used" comes into play.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping, but I don't know for sure.
Which it's an upset if you're one of those people that never bought the in-betweens and only bought the original one.
Mm-hmm.
It is an upgrade.
Yes,
it is a worthwhile upgrade.
Yes. Also, it's already sold out, so
Good
and
luck.
not coming till summer. Honestly, I hope that they manufacture it for a while. They did that with the Pokeball Plus. Pokeball Plus was around for quite a while. So fingers crossed they keep manufacturing this, because the Pokemon Go Plus is not being manufactured anymore. I don't even know if you can get gotchas anymore.
You can.
Okay. The Pokeball Plus is not being manufactured anymore. That is uncommon to find.
I don't know if you saw
if not rare.
Cowboy Hat Caterpie's one.
Uh-uh.
It had love.
Okay. I know mine's
it
getting a
was
little
well worn.
Mine's getting a little dinged up as well. And then this will be that same functionality in a device.
It's flat like a disc.
Yeah,
It's like one of those little mini frisbees you get at the arcade.
Don't actually throw it. Yeah, I appreciate that they're bringing another device in that'll be more available.
My question is, from my understanding, the functionality of it in Pokemon Sleep is it's a more or less alarm. You turn it on when you go to sleep, when you're going to sleep, and then you push it again in the morning, and it works like the Pokeball Plus, where it has a Pikachu to begin with, but I imagine you'll be able to swap that out with other Pokemon.
That's speculation as far as Pokemon Sleep is concerned. You'll be able to switch it out to other alarms. Thank goodness it's the Pika in Pikachu.
Did you hear
and
what
not
it
the
does when it wakes up? It does the Pokemon Center.
Pikachu. Yeah. Thank God it's saying Pikachu and not its original cry from the games, because I don't know if I could wake up to I really don't think I could handle that.
Did you know ever since Yellow they have not used that?
False. In Scarlet and Violet it has its original cry from
Does
the main
it?
series games. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, which confuses the heck out of me, because it doesn't in Galar. In Galar it has Pika. I am so confused. Which one is it, Game Freak? Which one is it? Which one's the official cry? I don't get it.
That's the international version. Oh wait, it just says Pikachu in every other language,
I'll
doesn't it?
I'll be very curious because they have they feature Snorlax and they feature Slowpoke and a couple of other Pokemon in Pokemon Sleep, and I'll be curious to see if they give you another partner
Yeah.
Pokemon or
If
if
you
they
haven't
just keep it
checked
to
out the
Pikachu.
trailer for it, go check it out.
Integration between Pokemon Sleep and Pokemon Go is coming. How it works, that I don't know.
I imagine it'll work like think of it as an intermediary between
You think-
Pokemon Home.
Mm.
The gimmick behind Pokemon Sleep is while you're sleeping, depending on your sleep patterns, certain Pokemon will show up. I imagine that you can then transfer those Pokemon to Pokemon Home and or Pokemon Go.
I was more thinking you can earn candy with your buddy
That's
by
true.
throwing your buddy into Pokemon Sleep or something.
Okay.
An interaction like that. So it's kind of like the job system
Mm.
in previous main series games, or what was the Tamagotchi bonus that you got in like Heart Gold Soul Silver? You could throw a Pokemon in the little Tamagotchi keychain thing, and when you walked with it, it would like gain XP or something.
The pedometer?
Yeah, the pedometer or something like that, where it's basically like that. That's what I would assume it would be like, but to be honest, like who knows?
I loved that thing as a kid.
The
I would sit
pedometer?
there in class and sit under my desk and
Or
just
the
shake it.
The Tamagotchi or the pedometer?
Well, both.
Okay.
I had the Digimon though. If anybody
Of course
is
you
old
do.
enough-
Yeah, you have a problem with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Hey,
You goob. Ay, ay, ay. When you pair the Pokemon Go Plus Plus to your Pokemon Go game, you'll be able to take on special research that allows you to encounter Snorlax wearing a nightcap. So Snorlax is getting another outfit.
I was telling people in one of our other local groups,
Mhm.
they were like, "Jesse, are you excited for the Snorlax with the sleeping cap?" And I was like, "I kind of peaked in Go Fest. I got the 97% shiny with a cowboy. I'm not gonna take any chances on this one."
Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Yeah, is it going to be shiny locked, et cetera, et cetera. You only get one. The interesting thing is it's not the sleeping Snorlax that we got
When they originally announced,
when they originally announced Pokemon Sleep,
that'd be cool to see it come back though.
to have it in a different pose.
Get some more cool AR pictures, like have it sleeping on its belly.
Yeah. Excuse me. I guess the monster I had with lunch is wearing off. The not sponsored. Yeah, it's an interesting. I appreciate the collaboration. They could always go a little further with it. So,
Stay tuned for more info on that. They said they will have an event specifically for that.
oh, they announced that there was going to be an event. Okay, cool. I can see there would be a handful of Pokemon that would be available. That's going to be in the summer.
Yeah.
They didn't have They didn't have a date, a solid date, but they did say within summer.
Yeah.
So, like a lot of things, they did not
I
announce
imagine
official dates for a whole lot.
Muna will be part of that event because it is the Dream State Pokemon. We'll probably see Drowsy and Hypno.
I would say that any of the stuff you saw in the initial trailer.
Yeah.
So Snorlax, we'll probably get Snorlax. We'll probably
Starters.
get Pikachu. We'll get the starters. We'll get Slowpoke. Totodile was there. So yeah, there's going to be some. I'm kind of torn because I don't want to give them more data, but another part of me is like I actually would be very curious to track my sleep and see how it is.
So for me, I'm one of those people that it's not going to help me sleep because I'll roll over at 2 a.m. Is
No,
it time to
it's-
get up
it's-
yet?
it's not
Is it
gonna-
time to get up yet.
No, it's not gonna help me sleep, but it will help track my sleep patterns and see if there's ways that I can improve my sleep.
Yeah,
That's what I'm more interested in. So,
yeah. People in the sleep business industry are going to love this app.
and Chronic, if you're listening to this, we do kind of want to hear your take on this. So,
Yeah.
either now or when the game comes out, we get to see a full feature set and stuff. That would be cool.
Because they did show brief glimpses of how it looks like any of your health fitness trackers, the graphs and stuff, and how it shows. And it's like there's 3 or 4 different types of sleep levels. Which type are you? And it's like, well, if I'm this one type, there's not really many ways I can change my sleep patterns. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
I need to get more XL candies. I gotta go to sleep.
Take some of what's the Grandma just gave me some because the other night I couldn't sleep. The stuff you take before you go to sleep to make you sleep better. Starts with an M.
Melatonin?
Yes.
Ah.
Just OD on the melatonin.
Yeah, don't do that, kids. That's bad.
You'll be in for the long sleep.
The big sleep. Snorlax ain't got nothing on you.
Insomnia? What's that?
Melatonin used yawn. All right. Season 10 of Pokemon Go Rising Heroes March content update. Actually,
They
this
needed
doesn't even
some
have.
epic anime intro for this.
I got nothing. I'm sorry.
Rising Heroes.
I don't. Actually, I'm gonna open this in new tab so I can get zoomed in. So announced during the Pokemon Presents Pokemon Day showcase, Gimmighoul and its evolution, Golden Go, are now in Pokemon Go. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But that is with the release, well, actually technically before the release of Rising Heroes. So to quickly go into March updates, I'm going to breeze through this as fast as possible and break down just one or two little niblets here. 5-star raids, March 1st to March 8th, Incarnate Formy Tornadus, so that's the genie form. Ooh, we got a fight. Nope, actually it's not a fight. It's more of a scrum. March 8th to March 21st, Ho-Oh. March 21st to March 28th, Incarnate Form Landorus. And from March 28th to April 10th, we have Lugia. All of which can be shiny. I have no idea if Ho-Oh gets
Sacred Fire.
Sacred Fire or if Lugia gets
Aeroblast.
Aeroblast. Thank you. I don't know if they get their signature moves. Do Thundurus and Tornadus get individual? Okay, they don't get special moves. Poor them not being special enough. Mega raids. This is where things get fun. March 1st to March 8th, Mega Charizard Y. That's the Flying Fire.
It's the first time they brought that back for a while.
Yeah, I think it's the third or fourth time it's been in the rotation.
Okay.
March 8th is the debut of a brand new Mega for Pokemon Go, Mega Medicham. So March 8th to March 21st, we will get Mega Medicham. March 21st to March 28th, Mega Venusaur makes its return. And March 28th to April 10th, Mega Alakazam. I imagine after Mega Alakazam, we're going to get Mega Blastoise, just because, then you'll have all the starters. Or we'll get Mega Charizard X, and we can all cope and seethe. The normal stuff. Oh, the snow must have just ended 7 minutes ago. There's Delibird all over the place. Events. Catch Mastery event, March 5th. I do have that. I'm just going to breeze through that right now. Do I even have that open? I do have that open. Catch Mastery. It's a single day, March 5th, Sunday, this Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. local time. Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan will be appearing more frequently in the wild. If you're lucky, you might encounter a shiny one. You'll have an increased chance of encountering shiny Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and Hitmontop, with 2 times XP for successfully catching Pokemon with nice throws, great throws, excellent throws, and curveball throws. So that's neat, I guess. Field research task encounters for Hitmontop, so that they can have all 3 featured. And then in eggs, the following Pokemon have a chance to hatch from 7K eggs collected during this event. Tyrogue. They don't say if that's the only Pokemon in 7K eggs, because they say it will have a chance to hatch from 7K eggs collected during this event. It might be the only thing in the eggs, they might put in other stuff in there. I don't know. But Tyrogue Shiny is also here. I thought this was the initial release of the Shiny Tyrogue, but that actually was released a while ago.
That was
so
false.
that was released a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And timed research focused on your Pokeball throwing accuracy will be available throughout the event. Complete 10 sets of research tasks to encounter 40 Hitmon top in total. When it comes to fighters, the Hitmon crew are kind of not that good anymore. We've had better things released, so you know what? You can get them if you're hunting shinies. That's not a bad time to search for them. So, yeah, no new move, no nothing for there. So I'll close out of that, and we'll go back to here. March 8th through March 14th, Festival of Colors event. I want to say in the past, the Festival of Colors events have been actually somewhat solid. So I am interested to see what is featured in that event for sure. March 11th, Elite Raid. If you want spoilers, I will tell you what it is. If you don't want spoilers, plug your ears for about 10 seconds from right now. It's either Regieleki or it's Regidrago.
Which are two of the new ones from Sword and Shield.
Exactly, the Sword and Shield DLC. So, those are coming in Elite Raids. Those have to be in person. Actually, by the way, spoilers are over. I won't say what it is anymore. Those are in Elite Raids. They have to be in person. They're harder than 5 stars, but less hard than the Primals. Maybe, probably. I don't really know.
I'd say so.
With the types that they should be somewhat easy to counter too.
Yep.
So things. March 18th, March Community Day. Leaks. I have seen the leaks. I know what March's Community Day is. Most likely.
I'm not going to make a pizza bet on that.
Me neither. It's. I'm not totally against it. So it's the week after we come back from. Actually, wait. The Elite Raids? The Elite Raids are when we're in Vancouver. Dude, so many people are going to be willing to do those. Yeah!
Sorry, locals.
Woo! I'll take it.
What day does it start?
March 11th. It's only March 11th.
So Saturday?
11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. local time.
So when we're in the tournament?
Is that not Sunday?
That's Saturday.
That's Saturday? Oh, I mean, I'll be eliminated by 2. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Well,
it.
if it's anything like the other 2 events, Knoxville and I forget what the other one was, we'll have at least 1 or 2 gyms on us.
Okay. Neat. March Community Day the week after on the 18th from 2 to 5 local time.
We could also just leave a phone with one of our friends. Here, go use my account.
Well, I mean, we can't be logged into battle and be catching
that's right.
raids at the same time. I wish. That's not how it works. March 21st through March 29th, Let's Go plus Team Go Rocket Takeover. So the Let's Go event we've had in the past, that was initially the Let's Go crossover with Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say this last year's was the TCG release?
Yep.
Which we're not getting another one of.
No.
I mean, they're not going to do that every year.
No.
But we're getting a Team Go Rocket takeover at the end of March, which is about a month or so earlier than what I think we've gotten in the past. So we will have maybe 30-ish days less, at least 2 weeks, at most a full month before when we've normally gotten Rocket takeovers in a season. So it is very early for a Team Go Rocket takeover. Which means if you're looking for PvP IVs of the Rocket Leaders Shadow Pokemon, just go ham as fast as you can to get them before they reset to something else.
Yeah.
With this new Team Go Rocket takeover. I'm not a big fan with having it as soon as it is. Well, as soon as it feels like it is. Feels like it's very early for it.
Yeah.
With it only being maybe a month before what it normally is. The caveat to that, and you and I were talking about it earlier, and it kind of makes sense, is that they're trying to allow it to be earlier so that more people can have something like Shadow, Alolan Ninetales without frustration ahead of some of the larger, the more of the regional tournaments, as well as whatever the Continentals and Worlds will be.
Yeah.
So, also with the really weird thought here with the name Rising Heroes and featuring the 3 team colors and stuff, it almost wouldn't surprise me if we get multiple Team Go Rocket takeovers in the season. If we're fighting Team Rocket a lot more because we're Rising Heroes to fight against evil.
Okay.
If they don't feature evil a little bit more here. So, I haven't heard back from anyone at the... I haven't really asked anybody, but anybody that was at the Hoenn Tour Vegas, what was the story like with
the 3 Rocket
the
team leaders?
the 3 Team Rocket leaders showing up there? I want to know what the story was like, what that integration was like. Everyone was kind of bummed that we didn't get Team Aqua and Team Magma like at the end of the Hoenn Tour. I think that would have been really cool, but we didn't. So maybe with the Rising Heroes at the end we get new villains or something. I don't know. I would be curious to see what they kind of feature there. Not that Team Go Rocket is getting stale, but I think they could freshen it up with Team Aqua and Magma, or Team Go Aqua and Team Go Magma, or honestly, mix it up with another thing or two. So they could spice it up a little bit more. Not that it needs to be extra spicy, but they could shimmy shammer it, adjust it. Go Battle Day Palmer on the 25th. Oh, by the way, the boosted Stardust for that is you have to spend $1 on the research for it to get more Stardust on Go Battle Day. It's not free. No new Pokemon, or no Pokemon, and no special move is unlocked on that day either. It's just additional Stardust. So, yeah. And gloves for Palmer, who's the... Which one's Palmer?
He's the leader of the Battle Tower.
Oh, in Hoenn?
No, I don't think it was Hoenn. I think it was Sword and Shield.
I'm looking at Palmer. No, that's not Sword and Shield. Is that Sword and Shield? Battle Tower and Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl. The Frontier Brain of the same facility in Pokemon Platinum, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver. Acting under the title of Tower Tycoon. Wow, what a name.
Lieutenant Surge wannabe.
Yeah, kind of. I'm curious to see what his pose is in...
I think it's right there. You saw it. You scrolled past it. Stop. The billowing cape. Go down.
You think that one, or do you think it's the billowing...
Like that, yeah.
You think that? Interesting. That's an interesting pose, I guess. I don't know if we've seen it. It's probably been data mined at this point. Fascinating, I guess. So Milotic, Dragonite, and Rhyperior is 3
goats.
Yeah. Known Pokemon in the anime. I see. Interesting. He shows up in a lot of different stuff. I don't really have any connection to Palmer. I never did any of the Battle Tower stuff because that's just gross. I'm just not that competitive and grindy and sweaty, so I'll let other people do that. But yeah, that's showing up. You pay $1, you get the additional Stardust bonus and Palmer gloves. Or you get the Palmer outfit by ranking up high enough in GBL. So, research breakthroughs, complete field research breakthroughs to unlock any of the following Pokemon. These should be for the entire season, not just for the month of March. The month of March?
Munch.
Parasect, Pinsir, Snorlax, Gibble, Furfrou, and Goomy. An odd combo similar to last season that's not really ideal and nobody really appreciates. The only benefit is Parasect. Parasect is a really weird one, but it does give you bonus Stardust. So there's that for you. Raid hours corresponding with their equivalent 5-star raids. Spotlight hours. March 7th is Eevee with 2 times candy for transferring Pokemon. March 14th is Rowlet with 2 times XP for evolving Pokemon. Litten on March 21st for 2 times Stardust for catching Pokemon. And Poplio for March 28th, 2 times XP for catching Pokemon. It's interesting that we get the 3 starters for Alola in the first month of the season as Spotlight hours. I don't think, honestly, Spotlight hours aren't always really connected to a whole heck of a lot. Sometimes they are the same type of an event that is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be connected, like if we have a ghost type event, we'll have, or if a particular Pokemon is featured on an event. The one that I'm thinking of right off the top of my head is Duskull from the Dia de los Muertos event. We had Duskull in the Spotlight Hour, which I want to say was right after the event ended, so it didn't have its flower crown.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a bummer, but... Or no, did it have the flower crown?
I think it might have.
I think it did. I think it was right before the event ended, so they just put a bunch of them out. So yeah, that's an interesting call. Their shinies aren't out, but if you're looking for candy or for better IV1s for PvP ahead of their community days, which don't worry, you'll have plenty of time. Those aren't going to come anytime soon, especially not this season. I can confirm. They will be in Spotlight hours, so put those on your calendar. Let me pull up my show notes. Next bit. Pokemon Go Battle League Rising Heroes update. Do you yawn?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Start date, reset ranks, end of season rewards, Wednesday, March 1st. This has already happened for most of you. I'm sorry. Rising Hero schedule. March 1st to March 8th, we have Great League and Fantasy Cup Ultra League Edition. We'll get into that here in a minute. March 8th to March 15th, Great League and Color Cup Great League Edition. March 15th to March 22nd. So this is every week. Ultra League and Psychic Cup Great League Edition. Was it this last season where they changed each league every week? Because now they're going back to every 2 weeks for each particular. Now the spicy, the like altered metas are switching every week, which is unfortunate. But at least there's options. March 15th to March 22nd, Ultra League with Psychic Cup Great League Edition. March 22nd to March 29th, Ultra League and Mountain Cup Great League Edition. March 29th to April 5th, Master League and Little Cup with 3 times Stardust for win rewards. This does not include end of set rewards. April 5th to April 12th, Master League and Spring Cup Great League Edition. Also 3 times Stardust from win rewards. April 12th through April 19th, Great, Ultra, and Master League and Evolution Cup Great League Edition, all running in parallel.
That sounds like a mouthful in a week.
April 19th through April 26th, Great League and Weather Cup Ultra League Edition. April 26th to May 3rd, Great League and Master Premier Cup. May 3rd through May 10th, Ultra League and Little Cup. By the way, not the last time you'll see Little... No, actually, that is the last time you'll see Little Cup. Because Little Cup shows up twice. Whack, right? May 10th through May 17th, Ultra League and Sunshine Cup Great League Edition. May 17th through May 29th, Master League and Element Cup Little Edition. Oh, there it is. A 3rd edition of Little Cup. And May 24th through June 1st, Master League and Catch Cup Rising Heroes Edition. So if you have any other bonus stuff going on or research that you haven't claimed with PvP Pokemon in them. Catch them on the 1st after, I think, 10 a.m. is when things will swap over. So, yeah, there's a lot of little metas here, and I don't think we're going to go through all of them, or definitely not going to go through all of them. We probably won't break all of them down here on the podcast. Has a lot. Go Battle Day Palmer, Saturday, March 25th. This is the free battle-themed timed research will be available. Rewards include gloves inspired by Palmer, Diamond Pearl, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Okay, so that is free. Go Battle Day Stardust, that is the paid battle-themed timed research. Awarding increased Stardust will be available for $1 or the equivalent pricing tier in your local currency. So this is similar to the Stardust research that we got the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Where it's just a free pass, and the more battles you won, the more tiny little bits of Stardust you got, in addition to your win rewards.
Right.
Excuse me. Bonuses: 4 times Stardust from win rewards. This is for the Go Battle Day Stardust. 4 times Stardust from win rewards. No, I take that back. This theoretically is bonuses for both Go Battle Days. 4 times Stardust from win rewards. This does not include the end of set rewards and will not stack with the 3 times Stardust bonus for Master League rotation weeks. The maximum number of sets you can play per day will be increased from 5 to 20 for a total of 100 battles from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. local time. Hey, Niantic. Looks like for one particular event, you actually understand what it means for it to be a day. 24 hour. Actually, in this case, it's 23 hours and 59 minutes. And maybe 59 seconds. Roughly. Rather than 3 hours. 3 hours is not a day. It's
a 3-hour tour.
An afternoon. Community afternoon.
Community period.
Community siesta. Community nap time. Community, please stop calling it a day. It's not a day.
Hi, this has been Steven. Steven's Talk.
Yeah, this is hello, my name's Steven and welcome to my TED Talk.
Your end of season rewards, look who's at the top still.
Oh my god! It's still here. I'm sorry if someone else is here in my house.
They aren't anymore.
They are much more angry with me. Guaranteed rank up encounters. Dragonair at rank 1, Marini at rank 6. 200 Elo Axew, 250 not 200. 2000 Elo Axew, 2500 Elo Noibat, cuz people want those. Actually, honestly, Axew should be higher cuz it hasn't had a community day. Though it has been in Go Fest with increased shiny odds. So realistically, it's just one move away from having a community day. But Noibat is totally, entirely. Why is it here? Gumi at 2750, and what in the fresh heck is Pikachu Libre still doing at 3000? 3000 Elo gets you Pikachu Libre with a chance to be shiny. They said they would drop the requirement, and I guess they did for the one interlude season. They made it incredibly easy to get, but it's still the highest reward because people want it, I guess. I don't know. I'm confused. It doesn't matter. Whatever. What in the schmuck ever? Standard encounters. I'm not going to read all these. Have fun. Go Battle League Timed Research Pass for our most dedicated battlers. A pass to access battle-themed timed research will be available in the in-game shop at no cost once Go Battle League Rising Heroes begins. The time research will keep track of your victories throughout the season. Each research page will require 100 wins to complete, and doing so will award you with a small amount of Stardust and items, such as an Elite Fast TM at 400 wins and an Elite Charge TM at 500 wins. Keep at it throughout the season to see how far you can get. I actually didn't read that ahead of time, so that's neat, I guess. But that's a lot of wins. Let's see. So there's 90 days in a season. You have to win on average. How many? On average, calculator. How many battles per day?
Well, you can do 5 sets of 25 games total a day, right?
Yes. 5 times 5, 25. So
25 times 90.
no. So yeah. So 25 times 90 is the amount of games you can play per the season. So that's
That doesn't
2,250. That's not including Go Battle days.
Yeah, which is another 100. And if you can do that 4 times a month, that's 400.
Twice. 2 times a month.
200
200. Plus 200.
additional.
Roughly speaking. So roughly speaking, you can play 2,450 GBL battles. And you have to win 500
To complete that research.
to get the Elite Charge TM.
So you need to win almost a quarter of your games.
Divided by 500. 4.5.
So
or 4.9.
almost a half.
No, that's not right. Hold on. 500.
You were looking at 22 something. Yeah.
20%.
So a little bit less than a quarter.
A bit less than a quarter, a little higher than 20% of your matches. That's what, a match a day? No, one match per set.
If you win.
If you win, you have to win about one match per set per day. No, one match per set for each set every day.
Yeah, so you have to you have to win a minimum of 5.
Yeah, or go 5-0 every day for the entire season.
Yeah.
For only one set. Yeah, it's kind of gross. It's a lot of energy to be spending on GBL, where your rewards aren't super fantastic.
Yeah.
And you still don't get that interaction with another player.
And that's assuming you play in each of the leagues available.
That's gross.
That's.
I mean, I don't know, because I mean, you can instant gratification get an Elite Fast or an Elite Charge TM if you buy the Community Day boxes. So I don't know. If you wanted to do that, you could save the headache, but that's still not.
It's a time sink.
Yeah, that's not fantastic. It's cool they're making Elite TMs more accessible, but it's still kind of painful. So. Avatar items and other awards. Trainers that reach certain ranks will earn avatar items based on Palmer. It is his initial pose. It's not a flowy cape, unfortunately. That is a bit of a bummer. It's not the flowy trench coat. But it is, in fact, Palmer's suit, which is, I don't know, it's pretty non-distinct, to be honest. I think it's when it comes to character design, it's a little bland. So but hey, if you like Palmer,
I mean that's like saying, I don't know. Let's see, who's another like not as well known character.
Who
Looker.
wears
Looker.
Who in the world is that?
He's the detective in the Pokemon series.
Oh, from like.
I think he was originally in X and Y.
Ah.
And then he's been as a prologue in a couple of the other games.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, not every design is going to be like absolute killer.
No, not every design is going to be an iconic champion or master.
True. So, I don't know. Leagues here. Fantasy Cup, 2,500 CP. Fantasy Cup Ultra League. Pokemon must be at or below 2,500 CP to enter. Dragon Steel, Fairy type Pokemon are eligible. Galarian Stunfisk and Cobalion are banned. Color Cup, Fire, Water, Grass, and Electric Pokemon eligible. Mountain Cup, Ice, Ground, Rock, and Steel type Pokemon eligible. Swampert, is banned. Spring Cup, Water Grass, and Fairy type Pokemon are eligible. Toxapex is banned. That's interesting. Sunshine Cup, Normal, Fire, Grass, and Ground, with Charizard being banned. Psychic Cup, all psychic Pokemon under 1500 CP are eligible except for Mew. Little Cup, Pokemon must be at or below 500 CP to enter. Only Pokemon that are able to evolve and have not evolved even once are eligible. They have not banned Bronzor. I wonder if there are some new Pokemon that are eligible within Little Cup that are...
Bronzor and Salandit.
I wonder if there's other Pokemon that are going to then beat those. You don't think any move adjustments might have changed anything? Jesse is shaking his head. That doesn't come across in an audio format, nor does it come across in a video format because we don't have a camera on. But Jesse was shaking his head no. So they will probably go back and ban Bronzor. If that meta doesn't change, if the Little Cup meta hasn't really changed since the last time it was around, Bronzor will probably get banned. Does it still even beat like Vulpix?
I'd have to go back and look at the Sims.
Things that would like absolutely annihilate it. Evolution Cup Great League Edition. Pokemon must be at or below 1500 CP. Pokemon that have evolved at least once and can evolve again will be eligible. So like mid-tier stuff. I want to say the last time I did Evolution Cup, I did Alolan and I did Brienne. I did the three Alolan starters. So I did Torracat, Brienne, and Dartrix. Is it Dartrix? Mm-hmm. Okay. I did the middle tiers. And they worked not great. So,
middle tier starters tend to.
Weather Cup, Fire, Water, Ice, and Rock type Pokemon are eligible because I don't really know how rocks don't necessarily fall from the sky, but okay. Element Cup, Little Edition, at or below 500 CP to enter. Fire, Water, Grass type Pokemon are eligible. Evolutions are eligible there. There are some Community Day Pokemon that I have found that are below 500 CP that I have kept below 500 CP for this exact reason. And Catch Cup Rising Heroes Edition. Pokemon must be at or below 1500 CP to enter. Only Pokemon that have been caught during this Catch Cup are eligible. Mythical Pokemon are not eligible. Attack. Availability. Updates. Who's ready for... This is actually pretty terrible. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop hyping it up more than it needs to be. Exploud got Boom Burst. Flygon got Boom Burst. Komomo got Boom Burst. Whimsicott didn't get Boom Burst, but it did learn Fairy Wind. And Jellicent got Boom Burst. I mean, it got Surf. It got Surf. It didn't get Boom Burst. Exploud got Boom Burst. Flygon got Boom Burst. I didn't even realize it learned that in the main series games, but okay. Komomo got Boom Burst. Also didn't realize it got that in the main series games, but I guess it does. Whimsicott now learns Fairy Wind, which is neat. And Jellicent gets Surf, which is also neat, because before it wasn't a water type attacker. It was a ghost type attacker. It just happened to have Bubble Beam.
It just more or less replaced Bubble Beam.
It replaces Bubble Beam. And it makes it a water type attacker, which is cool. With some ghost.
It makes it a better Mantine.
It makes it a different Mantine. Because it has Ice Beam, it has Shadow Ball, and now it has Surf. And it's got Bubble Beam. So you can run Bubble Beam Surf and go for some whack plays and some debuffs.
True.
If you feel like it. Shadow Ball and Surf are going to play pretty well together. Surf and Ice Beam are also going to play pretty well together. So, yeah, you got some options. I have to look further into Whimsicott with Fairy Wind to see how awesome this is. Seems interesting.
It makes it not have to rely on Charm.
Yeah. Which, I mean, there's Jigglypuff and Clefairy have to rely on Charm.
Yeah.
But they're probably not going to get... They might get Fairy Wind. I don't know. So, we'll see.
I think Clefable benefits more than Wigglytuff does.
Okay. Yeah, because it's got Meteor Mash, and that's going to be gross.
Meteor Mash, Psychic, Thunderbolts, and Dazzling Gleam.
Don't do that. Don't give it Fairy Wind. And no one needs that. No one wants that. That sounds
Wiggly
gross.
doesn't have as many good versatile options. It's kind of in a niche where it's at.
Yeah, Clefairy sounds kind of gross if it got Fairy Wind. I think you might have misinterpreted my message to the group chat earlier when I said Xploud with Boomburst. I don't think Xploud gets a community day anymore. I don't think Whismur gets a community day.
I think it does.
I don't think it does. Its shiny's already out, and its signature move, Boomburst, is in the game.
It
I don't
hasn't
think-
stopped Niantic ever.
No, I think it has. I don't think there's a reason to give it a community day. It's such a lackluster
Other
Pokemon.
than to elicit the ire of
There's-
millions of players.
We will have to get so far into the weeds. This game would have to continue so much farther past the breaking point as far as time is concerned for us to get to a need where they're like, we need a community day and we haven't given it to Whismur yet. I just don't think there's a reason for it.
I mean, no one wants a Whismur community.
No one wants a Whismur community day. Its shiny is already
I'm
out.
sorry.
Its signature
That's-
move is
that's
already
not
out.
True. I could think
It's
of one
a
person.
It's a normal type. It's a normal type. It's not super effective against anything. It's never been featured. Its popularity is probably absolute garbage in the like Japanese polls and stuff. There is no reason for Game Freak, the Pokemon Company, or Niantic to be like, yes, we're going to run a Whismur community day. I just don't see it. Now especially.
Yeah.
If you want to bet against that,
I do. I almost do.
you want to put like $5 down?
But when's the end date?
Do you want to do... Well, I've already talked to you. We already know what the community days for
Rumored.
this season leaked. I didn't read all of the stuff that was already confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah, they basically confirmed all of the March stuff like last week. So, and I imagine like
I don't
tomorrow...
want to say let's make a bet for a year because then it'll be one of those things where it's like the month after that year will be the Whismur Community Day.
No, that's dumb. Make that bet.
No.
Make that bet. Don't
I've-
be a coward. Make that bet.
I've learned my lesson with Jamar.
Make that bet. All right, who wants to take the bet? I don't think we see a... You know what? Out in the community, I will give whoever wants to take it. I don't think we're getting a Whismur Community Day for 2023 or 2024. Now, am I going to be alive in 2024 or at the beginning of 2025? Can't guarantee anything, but I'm going to say we're not seeing a Whismur Community Day until at least 2025. If ever.
If the game survives that long.
Community's not happy. We got to take it with a grain of salt, though. It's the vocal minority on Twitter.
That's why I'm afraid to make that bet.
It's the vocal minority on Twitter that is very upset right now. That is shooketh.
Shooketh.
Yes.
Jimmies have been rustled.
Yes, for sure. I love the quote, and I played it for you earlier. The quote from the Steve Dangle podcast. I need you to consider a few things. 1, cope. 2, seethe. And 3, I'm in your walls. End quote. That is Niantic right now, releasing all of this information for this season. The higher-ups for Niantic are like, consider these 3 things. Cope. Seethe. We're in your walls. And deal with it. Like, it looks bad.
I
And
think
it's-
the thing we
it's
mentioned.
Only March for this season. Like, who knows? May could be great. June could be, or April could be great. Which I just completely skipped April. April didn't exist for a second there. April could be great. May could be great. The summer could be great. The thing you and I were talking about is that this could be an interlude season where, because Play Pokemon is hitting its stride, they're not making a move update.
Nothing
it's-
that'll affect the effective the higher end meta.
The meta, the meta currently is stale. There's no denying it. But the one thing I think that is important is that it's stable. It's stable, and I don't think there's a small chance, and you and
For
I
Great League.
for Great League, that's true. For Great League. I mean, I did see
Primal's kind of messed
the
up
last,
Master.
the Masters with that allowed megas that didn't look great. That looked pretty bad. But those are bugs that can be fixed, not necessarily meta issues that won't be fixed until the next season. Those aren't meta imbalances; those are bugs.
Features.
I mean, it's all about perspective. Niantic's just like, you guys really want megas, right? Here, have this.
Yeah, so kind of going off this rather lackluster announcement for the season, I can take a step back and from a competitive standpoint see why they are doing the way they're doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from an overall meta perspective, as we're going through the Play Pokemon season, this is disappointing as far as the stale meta. I can understand that. But I can also understand from a competitive perspective.
And they've stated that before in
They
past years.
They did it with the interlude season. They've done it before where they don't want to shake things up too much, especially with the next. I don't think there's a major tournament happening this week, but Vancouver and at least one other is happening in a week and a half.
And then there's a break in April.
And then there's a break in April, and but that's okay. Like, they're not going to tweak anything there either.
No.
But there's routinely 1, 2, 3 plus regional tournaments for Play Pokemon where Pokemon Go is featured every month.
Yeah.
So I can understand the windows. At some point, I don't think doing move updates with each season timing wise is going to make a whole lot of sense. I think they need to find a point right after Worlds. Like, they need to announce at Worlds, hey, we're going to shake things up for a month and a half on the in-between so we can just go crazy. Just play around, mess with stuff, see what's going to stick so that we then have another month and a half of tweaking, balance, and adjustment before the next Play Pokemon season.
Yeah.
I don't think they should be beholden to the seasons.
And it's
No,
another.
I mean, I kind of get it, but I don't think that they necessarily have to be for the overall benefit of the game, for the health of the game and the health of PvP and the health of the PvP meta.
There's also the argument to be said that it might be out of Niantic's hands.
That is also true. It could be Game Freak. It could be Nintendo. It could be the Pokemon Company. It could be Play Pokemon. It could be any number of things. Because
I think the one more specifically was the TPCI.
The Pokemon Company. Yeah, I said the Pokemon Company.
It could be stuff they're not. Niantic's not allowed to say because of contracts, and our disappointment falls to them because they're the ones providing the product.
It's not even. I wouldn't even necessarily be contracts. It could just be the matter of respect. Like, there's things. There are mutual agreements and general respect between parties where you don't even have to sign on a dotted line. It just goes without saying. You just don't mention some things. You just leave things out.
Yeah.
You don't have to go into details of every single thing you ever talk about, or reasons, or anything like that. So
don't put all the blame on them. We don't know the whole story.
We don't know the whole story. We don't know if there even is a story behind it. And the other thing is, if you and I, if the first community day of this season is the way that you and I think it hope it is going to be, there is a chance it utterly shakes up the meta. There is a small chance. It's shown up before. Those evolutions have shown up before, and especially its variants. Those variants could shake things up pretty solidly.
Depends on what it gets.
That's the thing. We don't know. It's an option and an option. It's just like, you spin a stop. Are you going to get an egg?
Move that
what egg are you going to get?
Species get.
Huh?
There is a move that all of them have access to.
Send me that via DMs. I want to read it right now.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does that improve all of them?
Yeah.
How badly? or how much?
Quite a bit.
That could be quite refreshing. We're playing Koi. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if the community day was announced tomorrow.
Per quota.
It really
Per
wouldn't
quota.
surprise. Well, I mean, but hey, we got a podcast next week, so we
Yeah.
can talk about it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things of like this initial response.
If
Not
what has
fantastic.
been announced today makes you upset, maybe you need to take a break.
Honestly, just take a deep breath and like play other games. That's why I think the conversation we had on the B-SAD was so refreshing, is that there's so many other games that we can play and we can talk about and have a good time.
Yeah.
We can enjoy video, whether you realize it or not. Pokemon Go is a video game.
This
Pokemon
coming
Go
from
is-
the guy that kept swearing it was a fitness tracker.
Well, it is on top of that. It is prime.
Got him.
You did. You got me. Okay. I won't deny it. I won't fight it. Pokemon Go is a fitness tracker. It is kind of sort of a video game, but it is also one singular video game in an ocean of video games. You're getting my dog riled up, and
I love
don't.
him.
I know he's adorable and precious, and he just wants pets. He just wants pets. And if you let him, he'll climb up on you
I know.
so that you can give him nuzzles and pets and all that stuff. Pokemon Go is one singular video game in an ocean of video games with varied experiences, mechanics, and experiences that are yours to go through and enjoy. If you like narrative games, they're there. If you like action adventure games, they're there. If you like RPGs, boy howdy, are there games for you? Do you like games that, push you physically or have adorable creatures in them or what have you? Boy, are there games for you. Pokemon Go's not the only thing out there. Like, take a deep breath, go enjoy.
We may be a Pokemon Go podcast, but we recommend other games.
We also recommend you play other video games.
We also recommend you have a healthy lifestyle.
If Pokemon Go doesn't bring you any enjoyment, stop playing Pokemon Go.
that way
it's
it becomes
like
enjoyable again.
It's yes, but also if it's not being enjoyable for you and you keep doing it, first of all, definition of insanity, I recommend you look that up. Second of all, that sounds a lot like an addiction. And maybe you should break that. So
I'm not addicted. I just use it as an excuse.
I use it as the fitness tracker. I try to hit 50 kilometers every week.
I'm trying to get closer to that. I average about 30 now.
I got 78 kilometers last week. I walked around a lot. My feet hurt. Dog, I love you, but I
I
am
have to get you
trying
one
to
of those
focus on
foot
Pokedex.
bath things I have. They work
I
so
do
well.
honestly, yeah.
The one I bought off Amazon.
Do you have is it like a hot tub thingy where it's got like
Yes.
jets?
It's battery powered.
It's
if I
really
want it to be.
it's really too bad we're like directly in between Christmas and my birthday.
The best part is I can put Epsom salts in it.
Yeah, I feel like I really need that.
It's a
Can I
game changer.
just stick it
I've
under?
got baby feet afterwards.
I'll have to tie up some of my power cables, but I could stick it underneath the desk
See, that's
here
my
where I
problem.
stream.
I have to be sitting in the living room. Sorry, incredible side tangent, but
Okay.
if you're someone that gets those 50 kilometers in a week,
Uh-huh.
oh, those
You gotta yeah, you gotta take care of your feetsies. Yeah, I could
especially us old folk.
I could be streaming Violet and letting my feet soak. That'd be great. I'd stream more often. I'd look forward to it. Like, well, not that I don't look forward to it, but I would be setting it on my calendar every week of doing it specifically so that I could relax my feet. What are you getting into, Parker?
He's being a derp.
I hope so. I hope he's just being a derp.
Go lay down.
Okay, how far are we? Yeah, we're gonna hit about the average 2 hour probably. Golden Go, Gimmighoul and Golden Go are now
Remember
in
that
Pokemon
thing
Go.
where you had the coins?
Yeah. Thankfully they don't take up bag space. I was seeing a number of people be like, this is the dumbest feature ever. They're going to take up 999 of my bag space, and I have to pay for them, and I have to have a Switch, and it's going to cost so much money. And I'm like, first of all, they're not going to take up bag space. They
Takes
already
up one
confirmed.
spot.
It takes up one spot for the coin purse, or is that what they call it? Coin purse? Whatever it is. Something like that. You get the chest, and all of your coins go in the chest. It's like your postcard book. It's like your sticker book. You have one item that's in your inventory that then contains all the other items, and it only ever takes up one space in your
It's
inventory.
like your traditional RPG. Your gold amount doesn't weigh anything.
It's your bag of holding. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Can I put a portable hole in my bag of holding?
Are you asking to set off a nuke?
A nuke. That's a new plane of existence, my guy.
Oh, I'm pretty sure in some cases, because if you like,
It's a black hole in a black hole.
yeah, you start like,
Reverse singularity.
yeah, you don't do that. Crack. It's like the animation, the Earth cracks in half and then disappears. Yeah.
Giratina pops out. What did you do?
What have you done?
But yes, Gimmighoul and Golden Go.
They are in Pokemon Go, and yes, you do have to connect it to Scarlet and Violet, except in one particular instance. Potentially. It's a chance. Boy, how does Niantic love RNG. I swear to God. Just the first thing they made was a random number generator. They're like, we're going to put this in everything.
Exhibit. I heard you like RNG, so we put RNG in your RNG.
And then they did. They put RNG on everything. It's like Frank's. I put that on everything.
Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah, Frank's Red Hot. I put that
Hashtag not
shirt
sponsored.
on everything. RNG, I put that on everything. Coin bag. It's not a coin purse. It's a coin bag. I stand corrected. Kind of, sort of, not really. I was still right, though. Pokemon Go can now connect to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You send postcards to Pokemon Go from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So wait, you haven't done it?
Nope.
I thought you did.
Nope.
I was going to ask you how your experience was and everything.
I haven't had time.
Me neither. I don't blame you. Those
It's only
new
been 2 days.
those new Paradox Pokemon look pretty sick though. Suicune's bipedal now and is kind
He's
of
a raptor.
He's kind of a velociraptor, but he also has hair. Weird, but also has a really sick move. Have you seen that move?
Nope.
Dude, all right, I'm showing it to you after. Rather than having a debuff when it's sunny day, it has a buff. Does 50% more damage when sunny day hits, and it's a water type move.
Okay.
It's whack. Also, he's water dragon. And also there was a bug where Dodonzo, because it swallows Tatsugiri, which is a water dragon, and it gets the +1. Dodonzo wasn't specified that it had to swallow Tatsugiri. It just had to swallow a water dragon so it could swallow the Suicune variant. Dodonzo looks at a primal version of Suicune. I'm putting you in my mouth. Suicune, no! Gets +1.
Jeez.
I believe it's patched at this point, but that was an interesting. I'm gonna be bummed when Dodonzo comes to Pokemon Go and it doesn't have that ability, which means it's gonna be a Wailord and be kind of bummed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sad. But hey, Tatsugiri's probably gonna be pretty sick. Send postcards from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Scarlet or Pokemon Violet for opportunities to encounter roaming form Gimmighoul and collect Gimmighoul coins in Pokemon Go. Sending postcards will also affect your Paldean adventure. In Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, the patterns of Vivillon that live in the Paldea region will change based on the location listed on the postcard. To my knowledge, this is pure conjecture, so I might be incorrect. Or not conjecture. But this is based off what the little bits and nuggets I've seen, is that similar to what postcards you pin in your postcard book in Pokemon Go, the region that those postcards are associated with will then spawn you a scatterbug. The same region / pattern that postcard is associated with is also the same region that it will be associated with, or same pattern it will be associated with in Scarlet and Violet, thus giving you scatterbugs that will evolve into the Vivillon with those patterns, blip bugs with that pattern, and Vivillon with those patterns. Is it blip bug, or is blip bug entirely different?
Gen 8.
That is an entirely different Pokemon. So it's scatterbug,
Spupa.
Spupa, and Vivillon.
I only remember Spupa because of Smash Brothers.
Okay. Is it a
it's in a Pokeball that comes out.
Okay,
and
it's
it
an
does a
assist.
cloud AoE.
So fun fact that I didn't actually know, Spupa, Scatterbug, no. Is it Scatterbug?
Scatterbug, Spupa, Vivillon.
Okay, then what was I thinking of what did I think the middle form was?
I forget the name already, but that
Okay.
was the one that evolves into the beetle. Or
Right.
beetle.
Scatterbug and Spupa, when caught, already have their pattern predetermined, which makes sense compared to other Pokemon, but with like other mechanics and stuff. But I didn't know that until today. So for 24 hours in real time, when you send a postcard, it's not even sending. You're basically sharing the data of a postcard, because to my knowledge, that postcard doesn't leave your inventory. It doesn't get deleted from your Pokemon Go account. You're basically just being like, hey, Scarlet and Violet, check out this postcard. Scarlet and Violet is like, cool, that postcard is associated with this pattern Vivillon. So any Scatterbug, Spupa, or Vivillon caught will either be or evolve into that pattern of Vivillon
Based on where the postcard
based on where that postcard is from, but 24 hours from when 24 real-time hours from when that postcard is registered in Scarlet and Violet, that is the duration in which that bonus will be active. Which is a period of a significant period of time, but it does allow for some nice focused shiny hunting for Vivillon.
If you want a shiny with a specific pattern.
Exactly, which is what I want to do at some point.
Do the patterns have shiny variants?
They are all the same shiny. So Spupa, I think, goes from black to white. The central color of Vivillon is white. The pattern on its wings stay the same.
Okay, so it's just the body that changes color.
Just the body.
Okay.
I was going to say the thorax, but the thorax is one
Part of the two.
portion of the
body.
main body.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Not related to the Lorax. That is Dr.
of the
Seuss.
forest.
Now that is a Dr. Seuss reference, my guys. We are on fire today with dumb puns and
Useless information.
useless information. Boy, howdy. You can use the coin bag to catch roaming form Gimmighoul. Wow, thanks, email, for just now letting me, or actually my watch, just now letting me know that we're live on Twitch.
No way.
Who would have guessed? By sending a postcard to Scarlet or Violet, you'll be able to use the coin bag in Pokemon Go. When you use the coin bag, roaming form Gimmighoul will appear near you for a certain period of time.
30 minutes.
They don't reference that it's a lure, but it's pretty much or they don't reference that it's like an incense, but it's pretty much an incense. It seems that Gimmighoul love and are lured in by the bag's treasure chest, or treasure chest-like appearance, and the sound of coins jingling within. Professor Willow noticed that roaming form Gimmighoul wanders around more to return to treasure chests than to collect coins. So he develops the coin bag and entrusts it to you. You can use it once per day by sending a postcard. We hope you enjoy this connection with Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet every day. You will be able to send postcards by pairing Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet with Pokemon Go. You can send a postcard only once per day. Your ability to send a postcard resets at midnight. Your first time you send a postcard, you will receive the coin bag and be able to use it. Once you send a postcard, you will be able to use the coin bag again.
Question. Is it saying one time per Pokemon Go account or the one time for the Scarlet and Violet?
What do you mean?
Like the mystery box with
Uh-huh.
Meltan.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, as long as I had a copy,
Mm-hmm.
could send me a Pokemon and they would get a box.
Yes.
The way this is being phrased sounds like it's one per day, regardless of who uses based on the phrasing.
I don't know. I imagine in game you could probably only receive one postcard per day because it's a
In
24
Scarlet and
hour
Violet?
in Scarlet and Violet. I imagine
So that
because
means we
it's 24
can't
hour.
do meetups to help people get this.
I can sort of. I have an additional copy because I
Can
have
we?
a copy of Scarlet and a copy of Violet.
You can do 2 people.
I can do 2 people.
Is the way it sounds like to me.
That is also what it sounds like to me.
That's unfortunate.
I guess so. Or if you're like, who was it in the Discord that got? Somebody was showing off that they got near perfect
Oh, that was
for
Professor Koa. in
Professor
Showcase.
Koa was getting the perfect PvP IVs for Golden Go for Great League. By the way, it's a 0, 15, 10. I don't know what level it needs to be. They didn't show. It doesn't show what level Golden Go at Great League is. If you know
It's
what it
probably
is,
like 18 or something.
let us know. They've got the perfect PvP IV for Great League for Golden Go already, and then an excellent PvP IV with a 1, 11, and 15 for Ultra League. So they're pretty much already set.
Too bad they don't play competitive.
Oh, they don't? Oh, yeah, that is a little bit of a bummer. But hey, GBL, flex those.
It is going to be something that does take time to get. This isn't a quick get.
Yes, by the way, Gimmighoul evolves into Golden Go when you have 999 coins.
That's not candy.
Yep. Do you know if they get used when you evolve it?
I would assume so.
That's excessive. Which, I mean, is also in the main series game. So, and
It
I guess
fits.
it fits. It sucks, but it fits.
You get one.
Arguably, it's more work because within a day, you spend a couple hours, but within a day in Scarlet and Violet, you can get 999 coins.
Yeah, you can.
You have to
also-
fight all of the instances of Gimmighoul.
which have a respawn timer.
Right.
But the nice
But
thing
if they're
about the
all-
console is you can adjust that.
You can cheese it. But I'm more thinking of without cheesing it, within a day, you can fight all of the instances of Gimmighoul, and grab some of the individual coins. With a little bit of luck, you'll have 999.
'Cause I remember when I was grinding to get my Golden Go for competitive for Scarlet and Violet. I want to say roughly 2 hours over a week period of just farming them.
Mm-hmm. It's not the most difficult. The downside for Go is it's a lot more work.
It's a lot more long term.
Mm-hmm.
Get your hundo or get your one good one that you want for competitive, and just that'll be it for a while.
Yeah.
Like anything Pokemon Go has been doing lately, it's about longevity.
The postcards you send will remain in your postcard book, but each postcard can only be sent once. So, yeah.
So if you send that really cool picture of a Gundam museum from Japan to get this, I think it's the Sunrise
Mm-hmm.
variant of Pavilion,
Mm-hmm.
you can only use that postcard once.
But someone can send another postcard. You can add
Yeah.
it in, use it, delete it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Collect 999 Gimmighoul coins to evolve roaming form Gimmighoul into Golden Go. Give 999 Gimmighoul coins to roaming form Gimmighoul to evolve it into Golden Go. You can get Gimmighoul coins by catching roaming form Gimmighoul or by adventuring with it as your buddy. You can also get them from Golden Pokestops. It's not stated here, at least not yet, that the better your throw on Gimmighoul, the better the chance and the higher amount of coins you will get from catching Gimmighoul. So nice, great, and excellent throws will reward additional Gimmighoul coins on catch. Use a Golden Lure module for a chance to collect Gimmighoul coins. You can obtain Golden Lure modules by sending multiple postcards to Pokemon Scarlet or Pokemon Violet. Golden Lure modules turn Pokestops into Golden Pokestops. You can give them a spin for the chance to collect Gimmighoul coins. In addition, it seems that you can get more items from Golden Pokestops than from regular Pokestops, and extremely fortunate trainers may even encounter roaming form Gimmighoul. Explore the world around you to collect Gimmighoul coins and evolve Gimmighoul into Golden Go. So if you don't have Scarlet and Violet, find somebody in your community that does, that will somewhat routinely get Golden Lure modules.
I actually had a local reach out and ask if we were going to try and plan something for those.
I'm not against it. I just got to start using the feature. So
Yeah, same.
So, but between you and I, we could probably throw, a couple of stops.
That's if it lets us hold on to more than one.
Well, between you and I, we can at least lure 2.
Yeah.
And so this actually says if you already have a golden lure module, you will receive Gimmighoul coins instead.
Yeah.
So we can only hold on to one. So you and I could lure, if they work like other lures where they're active for 30 minutes, we could lure 2 of a tri-stop in town with 2 of 3, and then put a regular lure on the 3rd, and let people farm items along with
I'd
Pokemon.
be interested to know if powered up stops have a higher chance.
I don't know. I don't know if those bonuses stack.
Probably not. That's too much in depth.
Potentially. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. Burp right into the microphone. Why don't I?
I'll say this is a cool feature and all. Nothing that really makes me go, wahoo, I'm going to go do this.
Isn't Gimmighoul or Golden Go's moves like super good in
It's
PvP?
not great. It's okay.
Let's see. Hex, Astonish for fast moves. Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, Dazzling Gleam. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see that's solid. It's not great as an attacker. It doesn't have any steel moves. It's not. Yeah, that's not terrible. It could use some.
Could use Shadow Claw.
It could use Shadow Claw, which I don't remember if it gets or not. Nasty Plot's not in the game.
Make It Rain's not in the game.
Make It Rain's not in the game. When they give it Make It Rain, it could be absolutely gross. Though Make It Rain's probably going to be a nuke because its ability just won't exist.
Yeah.
Let me pull up. Number 1000. Let's see. So it does learn Tackle. That would be better. Power Gem would be an interesting additional move. It does learn Low Kick via TM, which is not a good move, but it's something. Charge Beam, it can learn. It already has Hex in Pokemon Go. I can learn Thunder Punch. Or Electro Ball. Those would be fun.
I don't think Electro Ball's in Pokemon Go.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of Energy Ball. You are correct. Flash Cannon, Iron Head, Power Gem.
Iron Head that'd be a good move.
You can learn Psychic, Heavy Slam, Thunderbolt, Giga Impact, it knows Focus Blast, Thunder, Steel Beam, and Terra Blast. So it doesn't learn Shadow Claw. It really doesn't have a fantastic fast move option.
Outside of Tackle.
Outside of Tackle, which is kind of wild. It's kind of gross. Wait, is Iron Head in the game?
Yeah, it's a charge move.
Okay. I'm looking down the list and seeing, like, okay, what would make sense as far as a...
Fast move.
Yeah.
It's really just Hex.
Or what, like, game or moves aren't in Pokemon Go that could make a... Nightshade could be a ghost-type fast move in the future.
Feels like a faster charge move. Kind of like...
Confuse Ray, maybe?
I think Nightshade's in the game, isn't it?
No, maybe you're right.
It's a fast charge move. I'm thinking Shadow Sneak.
Okay. Thief, maybe? I don't know. There's, yeah.
I mean, Charge Beam's in the game, but it's still cheeks.
Wait, is Psyshock? No, that's
Shock's a charge
that's
move.
the charge move. That's right.
It's the faster psychic.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer that it.
I mean, it's just one of those Pokemon. It's still so fairly new.
Yeah, I'm just like looking at its move pool here in the main series games, and that it just really doesn't have a fast move option in Go besides tackle, and that just doesn't help it in the slightest.
No.
That's such a bummer. Huh. All right, well.
Stickers and costumes.
Stickers and costumes. 9 Gimmighoul coins are available at no cost to trainers in the in-game shop for a limited time. And a social push with follow us and retweet for things. I used the Battle Science account to interact with it, and I got stickers, which I'm not against. I do like me a good sticker every once in a while. So, righty. That's not officially announced, and do you want me to hit you with the Melmetal?
Oh, it was officially announced.
Was it officially announced?
Yeah.
Okay,
A couple
because
hours ago.
Leak Duck is the one that was talking about it. I don't think I've seen anything on the blog post. Didn't show anything. I don't think Pokemon Go's Twitter has shown anything. But what I have is from Leak Duck, and I don't think it's coming out.
It'll
Right
probably be
away.
announced tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right. I guess I will refer to it quickly. Willow's Wardrobe ticket exclusive timed research. For the duration of the event or of the season, March 1st through June 1st, $4.99 or your equivalent pricing in your area. Earn a new costume inspired by Professor Willow. You'll also encounter a Melmetal that knows the charge attack Double Iron Bash, which makes me wonder, is Double Iron Bash available via Elite TM, or are we going to have to wait for June 1st? I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but I've got a feeling.
I mean, it doesn't affect me.
I mean, I know Melmetal's one of your favorite Pokemon.
Huh?
I know you really like Melmetal, though.
I do.
So,
But the move,
Double
the
Iron
move
Bash
doesn't
is
really move its needle.
right, but it's a steel version of Dragonclaw,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty cool. Catch 10 Pokemon for Professor Willow's goggles. Catch 20 Pokemon for Professor Willow's gloves. Catch 30 Pokemon for Professor Willow's pants. Catch 40 Pokemon for Professor Willow's jacket. Catch 50 Pokemon for Professor Willow's boots. And transfer 30 Pokemon for 25 Meltan candy. And for completing it, you will get 809 XP, which I believe is the Dex entry number for Melmetal. 809 Stardust, and a Melmetal that knows Double Iron Bash. Ticket is for paid timed research available with the start of Season 10 Rising Heroes.
I mean, I honestly think this isn't a bad deal for the outfit.
Mm-hmm. That's the only savior here. If it was only for a Melmetal with a legacy move, I would think this is absolutely ridiculous. But it's $5 for a full cosmetic outfit. Realistically, that's where the coins need to be focused on. Cosmetics.
This is also an opportunity for those that might not be in a community or someone that has access to understand. I mean, they've made it simple now to get Meltan boxes, but prior to that, or if this is just instant, I want a Melmetal right now gratification, I think it's worth $5. I mean, it's a 400 Mythic Evolution.
Mm-hmm. It's not the cheapest, but
No.
if you've had access to Meltan boxes, you have an exorbitant amount of Meltan candy.
Do you want to know where I'm at?
No, we don't need to share our numbers because you and I both have more than we'll ever need.
But I
So
want to.
You don't need to.
I do.
You're gonna shame people that don't use Meltdown
It's
boxes.
not shame. I just take advantage of the fact that we live somewhere where it's like snowing in game.
Well, that's just
2/3
weather
of the year.
boosted. That doesn't give you boosted candy.
Yeah, it does.
Does it give you boosted candy?
Yes.
I didn't think it gave you boosted candy. He's
But
gonna
I am
tell. He's
I
gonna.
am a purveyor
He's gonna.
of Meltans. 16,000 regular candy, 1,200 XL.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And I've only maxed one.
You haven't gotten the Hondo, have you?
I've got two.
Oh, you have? Okay. I thought you hadn't gotten them. Yeah, I got mine from the.
I got mine on 420 last year.
Oh, that's nice.
Or no, it was 420 of 2020.
Oh, that's double nice.
Where's he at?
The only way it could have been better is if you got it on June 9th.
Oh, I didn't notice. It's the lightest one.
It's filled with helium or some other gas. Yeah, the only I looked at this and I was like, why would I pay $5 for this? And then I looked back at it and I'm like, wait, it's primarily cosmetics. That's actually not terrible.
No.
I'm not entirely against it.
Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
If they put out facial hair in
Mhm.
different hairstyles,
But
how
I
much
had
would
to
you pay?
but I had to pay for it.
You played Animal Crossing, right?
I did play a bit of Animal Crossing.
If they put it out like they did with that,
I don't remember how they put it out like that.
it was like 3 hairstyles, 3 different colors
Mhm.
as a purchasable pack.
Okay, here's a question, and this is because it's in Pokemon Go. Is it coins?
Coins.
It's coins. I'm willing to spend coins.
Okay.
I'm not against spending coins. If I have to pay legitimate dollars like you do for this, I would be a lot less enthused.
Yeah.
Yes.
What if they were really elaborate? What if they were other character themed hairstyles and you could change the colors?
Oh, other character themed hairstyles and you could change the colors. So like I could have Cynthia's hair, but it's like silver like Steven's or something.
Yeah.
But I had to spend real money.
Yes.
I don't think I would buy it.
No.
I'd like to keep my own hair like myself.
But
I
I'm
don't
just saying the
necessarily wanna
option to
dress
have
up like-
alternatively hairstyles. You don't have to say it's that character. They could just throw it in hairstyle B.
I'm not going to buy
hairstyle.
it.
No.
I'm not going to buy it with real money.
Is
I'm
it
gonna use
just
coins.
because it's money?
Yeah. Because
But
I don't
you're
want
willing
to
to
spend.
spend money on clothes.
I'm not saying I'm willing to spend money on the clothes. I'm saying it's less bad that it's $5, but they give you cosmetics.
Right, but this is people that are designing this. I think that's the thing with cosmetics is you have to
No, I'm not saying this is bad.
Okay.
I'm just saying that at least the saving grace here is that it's cosmetics.
It's only cosmetics.
It's
It doesn't
primarily
affect the game.
cosmetics. Yes, this doesn't give me extra Stardust or extra XP for the length of the season. This is purely cosmetics. This is how I would like to see the rest of the game monetized, to be honest. Maybe the in-person event tickets, sure, and paid cosmetics. Put the cosmetics in the shop for $1 or 50 cents.
It works so well for Unite.
It works for Unite. It works for Destiny. It works for League of Legends. It works.
Does it?
It works for Team Fort. Well, Team Fortress's hats are an entirely different story. The cosmetic microtransactions is how live service games should be monetized. Putting all of this other special research and this and that and all of this and all of that under $2, $5, $10, $6, whatever. Like just pinpoint it, put it together, make it cohesive and concise and consistent, and other C words that make sense in this context, and monetize it that way. Like, why hasn't an artist put time into making your character allowed to have facial hair or have bald or have at least one or two other options for hair? Literally anything else. The female character model is stuck with one hairstyle. The male character model is stuck with one hairstyle.
I mean, we did get different color hair, 4 years in?
We got different colored hair, and then we have hats. and that's it. What? I would spend coins, maybe $1 on those if those were an option. But they're not.
For different hairstyles and colors.
Maybe.
Depending on the number, I would pay up to 5.
Honestly, it just kind of depends. But like they have to do it, and they haven't.
$1 per hairstyle and color, I would think, for a set of 5 would be worth it.
It kind of baffles me.
I wonder if it's just unit collision, because they seem to have a problem with that with some of the other costumes in the game.
Or yeah, I mean, listening to other people talking to Niantic employees or Niantic representatives, if one single person is working on a feature for an entire year, that code is, unless it's really well commented, like if they put in comments as far as how each portion works, it's something that only they understand. So going back into cosmetics, going back into the avatar customization, having some entirely different employee, programmer, artist duo, whatever, to go in there and make adjustments to it might be an absolute nightmare. That could honestly be the reason we haven't seen more, is because whoever initially made the customization menus might have had the worst syntax and the most obscure and non-commented code that makes it look like gibberish or Braille as a kid playing Ruby and Sapphire, when you're like, what is on this wall? I don't get it. And all of your friends are like, oh, you don't get it? Well, I'll have the Reggies and you won't. That
sounds like a personal experience.
No, what I'm saying is that one person's code could be looking like an entirely different language to somebody else. And that could legitimately be the issue as to why we haven't had other things like this. Or haven't had something more robust, which is unfortunate, but but yeah, it $4.99 or the equivalent pricing tier in your region. Professor Willow outfit from 2 seasons ago, 1 season ago, because this isn't his daily. Post Wormhole, that's right. It's the like leather jacket, goggles outfit, which does look kind of cool. I do kind of wish you could wear the goggles and they're not just on your head, but whatever. Excuse me, goodness gracious. I'm back at it again. Belching into the microphone. So yeah, $5. You have to catch 50 Pokemon over the course of the season and transfer 30. Now, I know that's a really high bar to set, and it's going to be a real challenge for a lot of us, but I think we can do it. It's not hard. It's not hard.
$5, I hope so.
For $5, you can catch 50 Pokemon and transfer 30. It's not hard.
I'm going to catch 49 and transfer one below whatever you said the number was for transfer, and then go.
Oh, it's so sad. That's so disappointing. Actually, it's all in one step, so realistically, you don't have to. It's not like catch 10, catch 20. You have to catch a total of 50 Pokemon and transfer 30 over the course of 3 months if you buy it day one. So, but arguably, you can complete this in one day anyway. So.
Speed run. Let's do a speed run challenge.
I
know I got 50 in that stack.
Yeah, it's an interesting addition, but it's not like it's not ideal. Double Iron Bash would have to get, I think, buffed. Or Melmetal in total would have to get buffed to make a difference in some of the higher metas where Melmetal is a lot more
its moveset's already pretty good.
Beneficial. So
if anything, it becomes the new bait move for it.
All right, so we're going to, because we're already past 2 hours, I'm going to try and breeze through the last thing of the news roundup and the meta-analysis of March's Cup. So Silph Arena, the first battle tower of the season, has risen. This is the first battle tower after the COVID pandemic. This is technically the second ever?
I think it's the third.
Battle tower?
Did they have one in Florida too?
No, I want to say the battle tower was announced there in February. The first ever battle tower was the one there in February in Portland.
Okay.
And then the pandemic kicked off in March.
Okay.
End of February, March.
So I think there was one California, one Florida.
Those were megas.
Okay.
Those were megas in partnership with Silph, but the first ever announced battle tower was there in Portland. That was the
Okay.
War of the Roses. So this is, to my knowledge, the second ever battle tower from the Silph Arena.
Okay.
And the first one since the COVID pandemic began. The Buenos Aires Battle Tower. They are calling it. What are they calling it? Oh no, that's it. Hosted by Nidos Argentina. The champion trophy will be the Obsidian River badge. The competitor badge is the Rio de la Plata badge. It is March 25th, 2023. It is the Ionic Cup format. Fingers crossed they stream it. I would be totally down to watch a Pokemon Go stream in an entirely different language to help support the Silph Arena and the battle towers, especially since we streamed the initial one. What's up? You pointing at things?
I was checking the date to make sure. Yeah.
If they asked us to stream it and they flew us down, I wouldn't be against it. So we can we could then corner the market on streaming the battle towers.
Habla Espanol.
I would have. First of all, I'm not prepared. Second of all, I don't speak enough Spanish to handle that kind of thing. Third, I don't think they would ask us to go down there. So, but it would be cool. That would have been cool. Hey man, we know people. So, I'm very excited. I'm very happy. I was like one of the only people to one of the first people to retweet it and be like, I'm actually the only person to comment on it is Battle Science with the hyped kid in the Penguins jersey. Yes. So yeah, I'm really happy that it's coming back.
Speaking of knowing people, I actually have a coworker that's gotten back into Pokemon Go. And I was telling them, oh yeah, we just do a podcast about the competitive side of it, and they're like, oh, I watch, Alfindal and a couple of these other people. I was like, oh yeah, we've met them, and they're like, what?
Yeah, it's like
I'm just like super casual about it.
Alf's local, he knows that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him that, and he was just naughty.
Yeah, it's like okay.
He's
he knows us. We've met him. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were just so surprised. They're like, you're so casual about it, and I was like,
yeah, because they're like they're humans. They're not gods. They're not on pedestals. Like, calm down. Like,
it was just funny because
I mean, yeah, I get that. Like,
it's like, oh yeah, we've hung out with JR Honda. And
yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. You know the DJ? Have I told you the DJ for the Kraken plays Pokemon Go pretty casually?
No.
So I kind of want to tweet him and be like, hey, after a game, do you want to trade Pokemon or something? Do you want to hey bro, we got a raid going on. Do you want to join in? During an ad break or whatever. Just be like, hey yo, DJ Trunks, you got any sound-based Pokemon you want to trade me? Because I'm down to trade you whatever and just
give him Explode with Boom Burst.
Yeah, yeah. Am I right? I think we mutually follow each other on Twitter too.
Nice.
I was like, when he started following my own account, he started following me. I'm like, why are you following me? Why does anyone follow me on Twitter?
I think
ridiculous.
That's just the thing, right? Is you follow someone, they follow you back.
No, not necessarily.
Oh,
really, not necessarily at all. So, I mean, I appreciate it, but that's not necessarily common courtesy. So yeah, I'm just every once in a while he'll tweet about Pokemon Go, and every once in a while I'll tweet about Pokemon Go. So it's little section.
mutual tweet.
Yeah. Yeah, at some point I need you to be like, hey, yo, do you got a friend code? I can send you my friend code, and I'll send you gifts once every 3 months, and
Yeah.
we could trade every once in a while. That'd be cool. Yeah, the battle towers are back. I'm excited to see what the other dates are. See if there's any of them that are local. I don't know if Western Washington's community is active enough. I don't know if that's going to happen, unfortunately. I'd love to help set something up. It's a ton of work, Massive amount of work. It's a lot. Righty.
Welcome to the meta-analysis.
We're going to get into the meta-analysis here. Real quick, because we are already past 2 hours recording, getting up to 2.5 hours live. I do appreciate everybody for bearing with us as we move through it. The Ionic Cup, March 1st to March 31st. I promise this is going to be... I have notes for it already, so... and Jesse, you said you hadn't looked through it really already?
No.
Okay. So then my notes are going to be most of what we cover. We might cover it a little bit more next week, but probably primarily next week for meta-analysis we'll cover the Polka Dot Cup, which is April's meta, and the second meta of the Wave 2 for Silph Arena. Yeah, Silph Arena. Okay, Ionic Cup. It's a little odd. It's a whitelist. In slot 1, you pick an electron, which is an electric type. That is required. In slot 2 is an optional proton, which is... I don't really know an easy way of breaking down what are options there. I'll get into it. Slot 3 is an optional neutron. Also kind of odd typings in there, but it's considerably bulkier. And then 4, 5, and 6 has a white list. Complete your team with these 30 Pokemon. If you have to pick something from slot 1, you don't have to pick something from slot 2 or 3, but you can fill out 2 and 3, and then 4, 5, and 6 with the white list of the 30 Pokemon.
So if I wanted to, I could pick slot 1
Mm-hmm.
and then make the rest of the team with not option 4.
If you wanted to. That is not what I would recommend, though.
Okay.
And we'll get into it. Okay. Electron. Slot 1 has to be one of the following: Ampharos, Raikou, Minun, Luxray, Electivire, or Dedenne. There are some winners and losers here. Much as it breaks my heart, I don't think Ampharos is super fantastic. But you got a couple of options. These are pretty much the only electric type Pokemon in this entire meta. Hence the Electron reference.
Without reading into anything, I feel like if shadows are allowed, Shadow Luxray might be gross.
Kind of, sort of. Let me do a quick double check because it doesn't say there. Build a team from the list of eligible Bug, Dark, Normal, Poison, and Water. Bond them together with an optional Pokemon from other slots. Mega Pokemon are not eligible. It doesn't say that shadows are banned.
So then there's a good chance that shadows are allowed.
Yes.
Yeah, so Shadow Luxray with Psychic Fangs would be pretty gross.
Yes, it's also frail. So that's the one thing to keep in mind is that it's not the bulkiest of Pokemon.
What's it
Just
called?
to begin with, it's not super
Minun
bulky.
is good with the coverage for the Grass Knot.
Yep. Because water types are around.
Dedenne is a fairy option, but doesn't feel like it's as good.
Exactly, because there's a lot of poison, and we'll get into that.
Okay. And then Electivire with the ice move is kind of meh.
Electivire in general is kind of meh.
Yeah.
Raikou is a pretty reasonable option with Shadow Ball.
It's just standard Shadow Ball, yeah.
Yeah. Ampharos is interesting with having
Now
Brutal Swing.
Yeah.
Brutal Swing, Dragon Pulse, which I don't think is
It's not
recommended.
great.
So
And it also has access to Focus Blast.
it does have access to Focus Blast, which is somewhat helpful in some of these. Okay, so optional protons. This is slot 2. Beedrill, Poliwrath, Ariados, Hisuian Sneasel, Celio, and I don't remember. Barbacle. Oh, by the way, to go back to several previous segments, guess what's in 7K eggs for this season?
Barbacle?
No.
Sneasel?
The Hisui Pokemon.
Oh, good.
They're back. I was thinking, hey, when are we going to get the Hisui Pokemon back? They're in 7Ks for the duration of this season.
Is that Sneasel, Growlithe, Quillfish?
Their page isn't live. I found it somewhere, hiding somewhere.
Is it all the Hisuians that have been released already?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much. Although Hisui and Quillfish is going to be in the wild.
Okay.
In forests or something.
Okay. One of the biomes.
Yeah.
Voltorb in 7Ks, gross.
I don't remember if Voltorb is in 7Ks. I don't remember. It might be, but I don't. That wasn't what drew my eye to 7Ks.
Okay.
Growlithe and Sneasler were things that drew my eye to
Okay.
7Ks. But they're in 7Ks, which means you can manage your egg space. You can grab 7Ks. It's guaranteed, unless it's an event, it's guaranteed to be one of the Hisuian Pokemon. So, okay. Optional Neutron for slot 3, Umbreon, Sableye, Skuntank, Munchlax, Drapion, and Greedent.
Ooh, I'm really torn between Greedent and Drapion.
So a lot of bulk here, except for maybe Drapion, but Drapion has a lot of coverage. So it's an interesting one to slot in here. 4, 5, and 6. Complete your Pokemon team with these 30 Pokemon. There are winners and there are losers here. I'm going to go through all of them as fast as I can, but still listenable. Blastoise, Alolan Raticate, Nidorina, Parasect, Muck. I assume that's Cantonian Muck. I can double check that here in a second. Seaking, Pinsir, Lapras, Snorlax, Politoed, Quillfish, Porygon 2, Linoone, Swalot, Seviper, Crawdaunt, Armaldo, Milotic, Normal Cast Form, Bibarel, Kricketune, Weavile, Samurott, Scolipede, Gabodor, Zoroark, Pangoro, Malamar, Beware, and Glossopod. There are some interesting picks here. So going through the list, going through some of the resources that PvP Steve had, and then the let me pull it up so that I can give them credit where credit is due. It is Barbatos RV on Twitter at Barbatos RV. Jorge Rivas. Of what group are they from? They're, I believe, one of the South American groups. Barbatos Crew, I guess, is what their logo is showing. Had some infographic stuff on team building and meta breakdown. Going through some of the resources here. The Electron required, the different, let's see. The Electron slot for this meta is not necessarily where you, it can be where you start team building. I don't think it's really the place, but it doesn't have to be the place where you start team building. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Because the electric type is a lot more, you might think it's all very RPS. I don't think it's going to be as RPS as it might feel like in this meta. It's going to be a lot more, it's going to be a lot more vague. It's going to be a little bit more jumbled. It's going to be about bulk points. It's going to be about shielding. It's going to be about spam more than it's going to be about rock, paper, scissors. The electric type's not going to be super fantastic here. It's going to help you beat waters, but it's the additional coverage that each electric type has that's going to be more important. So you can start with picking your Electron. I don't know if that's necessarily where you need to start building your team. While this meta says it's optional to pick a Proton and a Neutron, I think the overall performance of the Proton and Neutron eligible Pokemon, it is highly recommended you pick one from slot 2 or 3. Like, absolutely. Coverage is available in slot 2. Bulk is in slot 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that breaks down. More or less. There's a little bit of odd stuff here. Coverage is really important in 4, 5, and 6. The whitelist. There's some weird things that like I wouldn't recommend. I don't know if I would recommend something like Swalot or Armaldo. Crawdont for sure. I wouldn't recommend Crawdont. It can have some uses. Some people, I were seeing some screenshots of people running Crawdont in GBL in Hoenn Cup because it has Crab Hammer and it can do some like nuke damage.
Yeah. Good
Good for it. I just don't think it has the performance, but it's here. So it, mileage may vary. This cup could be very expensive for new competitors, but I think there's a lot of returning Pokemon here that you can build a very solid team from. Something like Raikou is going to be something that like not everyone has, but with Hoenn Cup just coming around, something like Minun is going to be available.
Yeah.
Mareep have been around all this season. They've been, they're not common, but they've been available.
All right.
Shinx is an odd one where we've had a community day, so some people might have reasonable Great League Luxray, but maybe not everyone does, just because in the past and after the community day, they've been in like raids and eggs, so it might not be available. And Dedenne has been kind of popping
It's been featured
in and out.
in a couple events.
Yeah, it's been around the fairy event and an electric event last season, or in this last season. I think it was in both.
It was in the Dios de Muertos event, and then the Fairy and Dragon Shining Spectacular.
It was in that because it was fairy, and then there was an electric event where it was also featured because its shiny was released.
Was it the Festival of Lights?
No, there was an electric event where it was also featured
I don't remember.
within the last month or two.
I don't think
the Dia de los Muertos event was not this last season either. The season that we're currently in that will then
it was
change
the one before. Yeah.
was the one before, but it's been around pretty frequently.
It's also one that seems to pop off my daily incense quite a bit.
I get a lot of Pikachu, and it's kind of weird. Like a lot of Pikachu. I'm wondering. I keep looking at like, oh, I've gotten this Pokemon a lot. Is it bugged again?
Who knows?
Optional Proton. Beedrill's everywhere. Beedrill's a really good pick here.
It's a great generalist.
Ariados is also a pretty reasonable one. I think the biggest ones here are actually the pseudo fighters. Well, one of them's actually a fighter, and the other one's a pseudo fighter. Poliwrath is fairly solid. It does get countered by some of the electric types. It can actually also outperform some of the electric types since it has Mud Shot.
Yeah.
But
But
it's just
not
overall
doing damage. That's just your energy move.
right. But it has Power Up Punch to be able to do that, or do some of that. It can outbulk, I'm sure, some of these as well. It has more consistent performance than some of the electric types.
I mean, if you want a hard counter to Poliwrath, run Luxray.
Yeah. I mean, but also same thing with the other one I was focused here in slot 2, Hisui and Sneasel. That is a fighting poison. Guess what Psychic Fangs is great against? Both of those. Have fun.
Yeah.
Hisui and Sneasel is a very good performer. I'm glad they're bringing it back in some way this next season in 7K eggs, because its performance and subsequent bans in several metas have put it on my radar as something that needed some resolution, be it wider availability or nerfs or the bans. So while I'm not a super big fan of seeing it here at this point, I do appreciate that serendipitously we also have it returning in 7K eggs for this season.
Yeah.
So hatch them, trade them, find a reasonable IV. I'm going to probably reach out to some of the locals that we have here that I'm not friends with currently and just say, hey, if you hatch any 7K eggs that happen to be Hisui and Sneasel, I will take them from you.
Looking at the list there, Seeking, Triple Legacy.
Gross. Yes, that can definitely be. There's a couple of these that can be very expensive, and a couple of them that won't be. Neat Arena is one that can be very expensive
It's
because
also going to be very viable because it's an XL.
it's going to be XL. Yeah, it's going to be very bulky.
Is that the one that recently got Thunderbolt or Ice Beam?
I don't remember which one it got, but it wants that over return now.
Yeah.
If
it's Thunderbolt, it's
which
got
is-
a great answer to some of the waters.
which is interesting, but also kind of nice that it doesn't necessarily have to be
Purified.
purified at this point. Alolan Raticate's cheap.
It's cheap and it's also a good, not Umbreon.
Muck Spin Around is also going to be cheap. Also is a pseudo electric with Thunder Punch. So that's not a bad option. Snorlax has been in and out available for a
Shadow's
long
pretty
while.
gross.
And you can pair it with Munchlax because why not?
And there's nothing in here that has counter.
Right. Anything that has it's either
Normals are pretty good.
low
this meta.
sweep or it's a charged
Charge fighting
It's
move,
a
like
fighting
Dynamic
charge move,
Punch
yeah.
on Poliwrath.
or Power Up Punch. Yeah, there's some options here. There's some good coverage here. Milotic with Dragon Tail, if you feel that way.
There's not much steel in the way to stop that, or fairy.
Dedenne is probably the biggest counter, and I don't know how much Dedenne you'll see with poison types such as Skunk Tank, Drapion, and the two bug dudes in Beedrill and Ariados.
Now the bugs are going to be a problem because you're limited on flyers.
Yep.
There's very little answers. Barbacle is your answer to your protons. It's one of your few rock types.
Does Pangoro have counter?
No.
Okay. Beware does have some fighting type moves. That's a really interesting one. Samurott is just a hydro cannon spammer. It's ridiculous. I like it here, but I don't love it here. You need a Hundo level Neat Arena just to be under 1500. Yes. Yeah, it does require XL candy, which means it's incredibly bulky, but it is expensive. And they've been around in the past. They're it's a double-edged sword of it's accessible, but it's also expensive. So when it comes to Ionic Cup, it's an option. I think a lot more of the hardcore Great League players are going to have it.
Cast Form Normal sounds really good.
Cast Form Normal is what? It's Hex.
Weather Ball Rock, Energy Ball.
Oh, with a grass. With a lot of the water around, that might be pretty solid.
That's also a huge answer to your bugs.
And with a Hex, it's an answer to ghosts.
What ghosts? That's also dark.
Is it not taking super effective damage from Ghost?
It's neutral.
Well, it's also not doing super effective damage.
True.
It's doing
But
stab
foul
with.
play still hits like a truck.
well, yeah, in part.
That'd actually be one to run a good shadow on.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Zoroark fits here.
Not really.
Well, it's an odd
It's a
one.
squishier option 3.
Yeah, like so Zoroark, Weavile, Kricketune, Armaldo, Crawdon are things that I'm like, I know you need to have a reasonable list, but I just don't see these things being viable in a team of 6. Like
You put them
viable
on there to make the
solo,
people
let alone
fear what it could do. I've never seen that Pokemon. I don't know what it does.
Yeah, like I mean, I like Scolipede, but I know that it's just a little bit less, little underperforming compared to. Oh, hey, by the way, Ariados and Beedrill are here.
Politoed is going to be on there. A lot of people's team, I feel. It's just too good not to.
You do have to be careful that you're not overloading with water,
Yeah.
because everyone's guaranteed to be running an electric on their team. So, Oh, and hey, by the way, all of these electrics are somewhat spammy.
Porygon 2 sounds really funny though.
Porygon 2 is, it's another one of those ones of like,
Try attack, try attack, try attack.
I guess you can put it in this meta. It's not.
If Zap Cannon didn't get debuffed, I would say it would be a much better use of it.
I mean, you can still run Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon's not available.
But the debuff helps.
Yeah, it still has the debuff. It's just a
It's a
lower
50%
chance. And it's better than Ancient Power on Togekiss, which you're running in Master League.
I'd get to Ancient Power twice as fast as I would Try Attack.
Do you?
Zap Cannon.
I thought, but you have Lock On, do you not?
Yes.
It takes that long to get to Zap Cannon?
Yes.
Huh. No, there's no way. With Charm?
You've used Registeel, right?
No, not with Zap Cannon.
It's the same thing.
Point that mic closer to your face, though. Please and thank you. Point it down. There you go.
It still takes a good amount of time
Right,
for Registeel
but
to get
Charm
to Zap Cannon
into
because
Ancient Power with Togetic or Togekiss versus Lock On into Zap Cannon with either Porygon 2 or Registeel. You're saying that Registeel and Porygon 2 is slower to get to Zap Cannon than Togekiss is with Charm to Ancient Power.
I'll run a sim.
For real? I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. I'll eat this napkin. I'm pretty sure getting to Ancient Power is slower. It takes a long time.
Well, one dies before the other even gets to the move.
No. I'm not talking about against each other. I'm more thinking
In
the
terms of
time to
speed.
take. Yes. It takes longer to get to Ancient Power with Charm than it does get Lock On, which is just energy. If they could, they would make Lock On just energy, but they have to give it 1 damage.
Give me a moment. Okay. Porygon 2 does get to Zap Cannon faster than Togekiss gets to Ancient Power.
Yeah, I knew it.
But even in the one shield scenario, Togekiss still wins.
I'm not talking about against each other. I'm
I
just talking
know.
about the speed to get to that move.
But it's
There's
not
no
by
way-
much.
That's absolutely ridiculous. That is absolutely, especially with a 50%. Dude, Crunch has like a 30% to debuff, doesn't it?
Something like that.
Like, why are you poo-pooing Zap Cannon with a 50% when we're like, man, Crunch is pretty good?
Because Porygon 2 is cheeks in the defense department.
Okay.
Registeel makes up for it.
But see, people are still poo-pooing Registeel. Like, I just don't understand that.
Are they?
Aren't they? They're like, I don't really want to run Registeel anymore.
Not with Stunfisk around.
I don't know. I digress. Yeah, don't run Porygon 2.
I mean, maybe. I do have the Shadow.
Yeah, and wait, what were you telling me earlier about running this team? You're like, maybe I'll run more comfortable stuff this time so I can
I have
actually
played
perform
with
well?
Porygon multiple times. I enjoy it.
Are you actually going to perform well in this meta with it?
No. Who
So
said
why
anything
would you
about
run it?
performance?
I thought you were like, wasn't happy with
I
my
stuck to the
overall
book
performance.
as far as performance the last 2 cups, and it has not helped me
Okay, so then you want to go outside of your comfort zone?
with things that I know I've played with.
Oh, I mean, your funeral, bud.
I mean, I got to retire at some point.
Ay. Just a big ball of fire.
But yeah, Ion Cup, that's guaranteed slot 1, optional numbers 2 through 6.
I heavily recommended slot 2 and 3, picking with the proton and neutron slots.
And for those listening in, it is a white list for options 1 through 3, and then 4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
You do need to go and look at what the options are, and kind of
When you go to register a team in
arena.
on the Silph Arena webpage, they will break it down slot by slot for
Okay.
you. Yeah.
And they've done this before, I think, in like Voyager and stuff.
Yes. Oh yeah. At this point, probably 6 or 7 times, if not more. That's only counting the singles. That's not even considering the team based. What's it called? Factions. I'm sure they've done this kind of format in factions before, as well. So,
Right.
yes, I don't know how well I'll do because I can't run the same bulk that I did in. What was this metas? This month's metas?
The
February's?
Naiad?
Naiad. I liked Naiad. I liked running bulk. I didn't know my matchups well enough to really perform. I think I could have. I think I could have beaten Winston in that final matchup, had I known my matchups better. But I didn't. So, but I don't think I can play bulk here, in Ionic. I don't think that team works format wise.
It's not available.
So. No, I do not believe so. Boy howdy, this is a really long one. And I'm glad we're doing this now. We will be back next week with a regularly scheduled Battle Science podcast. Next week, the regularly scheduled Battle Science podcast, which will probably be more closer to the 2-hour mark than closer to the 3-hour mark than this week is. But I think even with skimming over some of the things that we did skim over, makes sense just with how much news was happening. It honestly, if we had done a podcast last week and did a podcast next week, I don't even want to begin. It would have been like a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah.
We would have, I mean,
Too much.
Too much. So I do appreciate everyone for sticking with us in a 2-hour and 40-ish minute podcast. Again, follow us on socials at battle_science on Twitter. You can hop in the Discord. Follow us on YouTube, VOD, streams, etc. YouTube.com/C/battlescience to see all of that there. The Twitch page, twitch.tv/battlescience. That is an option there as well. Financially support us if you have the dollars. I do recognize we are nearing, if not in a recession already. So I do not blame. Bro, don't make me come across this room and slap you with the lack of dollars. Yeah, we're in a recession. They don't want to call it a recession, but all of our financial markers as far as the global economic sphere are pointing to a recession right now.
Oof.
Yeah. So if you don't have a couple dollars, that's okay. But if you do have a couple extra dollars and you want to help support us, patreon.com/battlescience. Back us to the $1 tier or more. Get access to the Battle Science After Dark podcast and the Battle Science podcasts a couple days early compared to the VOD and podcast release. $5 or more will get you the Patreon podcast producer tier where we read your name at the beginning of the show. Again, this last February's Battle Science After Dark podcast is probably one of my favorites. So go check that out. March looks whack. We'll have one more podcast before we go to Vancouver for our first ever regional. So we'll talk maybe some of our regional prep next week if no other big news is happening. But I think that's everything. Pop into the Discord as Jesse and I maybe discuss our teams, but maybe not too much because a lot of our competitors might be in the Discord too.
I'm going to run Snorlax.
Shout out to you, Wing Attack. Yes, we do owe you pizza. Yes, we'll figure out the logistics of that here. And also join the Discord and laugh at us as we get eliminated from the tournament. I will probably get eliminated from the tournament within the first 2 rounds. I think you only need 2 losses to get eliminated. And Jesse will, I don't know. There's a chance you could make it to day 2.
There's a chance.
There's a chance. Who knows, man? Yeah, come laugh at us or
Then come joining in for
congratulate.
Ionic Cup.
Ionic Cup.
Brain Blast.
Don't call it Brain Blast Cup. Don't call it Tournament Brain Blast. You could call it the Hadron Collider or something. Call it something cool.
Jimmy Neutron.
I swear to God. With that, we're gonna end the podcast before I want to slap the sillies out of him. Thank you everybody for tuning in. In the meantime, we will catch you out there on the battlefield.